My girlfriend has been living a lie for a year.
Ouch.
My girlfriend and I have somewhat of an age gap relationship. We met when she was 19 and I was late 20s. How late? She set her sights on me and pursued me. We saw each other on and off when she was home from college, and we developed a sort of part-time relationship. Because of the age difference, I was always careful not to let things get too far because I wasn't sure how it would work out. And admittedly, I kept her at arm's length for a couple of years, and she told me that she felt in limbo for those years. And I honestly feel guilty about that now.
Yeah, like maybe sending like mixed signals.
Yeah, he's like, well...
I'm confused about the part-time thing. What is considered a part-time relationship?
I don't understand.
When you get a side chick?
Okay, great.
Putting in the extra hours.
Anyway, she matured a lot through college, and I helped her through some tough social problems, probably about her like sorority.
Yup.
And our relationship grew and grew until recently, halfway through her senior year, when I was 35, probably.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
I finally wised up and realized I didn't want to lose her and told her I wanted to be with her long term. She was relieved and happy. And while it's tough to be separated geographically and temporally because of the age gap, things have been overall great. We both met on the East Coast. Her junior year, she transferred to a prestigious school in California, and I was very proud of her, and I began telling all of my friends and later my family what kind of genius I was seeing. I will admit, it was a point of pride. Fast forward to this past winter when we finally had a talk establishing a relationship and we began speaking more frequently. It's been nightly FaceTimes telling each other how much we miss each other. So... seems like it's going well. Everything's fine.
It's going to go great, right?
It was difficult having finally entered into a full-fledged relationship, but being 3,000 miles away, I guess, was hard. Well, things went this way until last night.
Oh.
When she abruptly told me she hadn't been honest with me.
Oh. She's part-time.
She's part-time. And I think OP thought this because I thought maybe there was someone else, and I was prepared for that because she's in college after all. But no. She tells me that she has been going to a different college, not more than an hour away from me for the last full year.
Oh.
He thought they were long distance. He thought she was on the West Coast and he was on the East Coast. Turns out she's been on the East Coast this entire time, an hour away from him.
Oh,
what a
my
thing to
God.
lie
You lied
about.
to me.
Crazy.
Literally makes... I'm so confused.
I would have known, you know? Time zone difference. Like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, it's what we were calling it 7 and it's light out by you. Like,
Bro.
Come on, use your big brain. Use your geoguessr brain.
That's right.
Wait, what was she giving him, or what was he giving her?
I don't know, his
Like
wisdom.
money? Wasn't he giving her money or anything?
No, he wasn't giving her money.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
no.
I'm more confused now.
He was giving her love. Yeah, not every relationship is transactional, Riley.
Well, at
Yeah.
with that age gap, you would think.
Yeah, true.
Could be.
The motive behind this was that back when she was transferred out due to tuition costs, she was unsure if we were going to continue our relationship, and she felt embarrassed and thought I would think less of her for leaving such a prestigious school. She did go to the prestigious school on the West Coast
Right.
for a little bit, but
Initially.
transferred out because of the cost.
Right.
And now she's on the East Coast.
Right.
She wanted me to think she was impressive and be proud of her. She said that each detail about her life and all her social relationships and all the stories she told me about school all really happened. They just happened an hour away from me and not across the country. She's been lying for a year.
That's such like a young, like college age kid thing to be like, oh, I didn't want you to think I like wasn't. It's like
Wasn't
who
cool.
Cares?
Also,
Who cares?
if you want a reminder that he's dating someone 10 years younger, this is freaking it.
yes,
This is it. This is the lack of maturity is palpable,
Yes.
and it makes sense because she's in college.
100%.
Yeah. This was an insane revelation for me. I started thinking back to every conversation we've had and the realization that she had been very careful about telling me things about her life at school by replacing the school name with the other, and she had to admit certain things as to not give away her lie. So like, yes, she might have been telling like the core truth, but there was a lot of little lies that she had to do.
Changed details. Yeah.
She acted surprised about the weather, for example, when I told her about a late winter storm I'd had, assuming she wouldn't have experienced the same thing.
Right.
What I didn't know is we were living through the same storm because we were practically neighbors. I realized she lied about traveling, texting me that she boarded an imaginary plane when she was supposedly traveling back across the country. She lied about what time she woke up and went to sleep so as to maintain the idea we were in different time zones.
Oh.
What is concerning is the fact that she was so good at it. That she convinced OP for a year.
That's yes. I was trying to like put my finger on it, and that is it.
That's what's messed up.
Yeah.
And maybe it seems like it comes easy to her too.
I could lie to you for a year, and you would have no idea.
Yeah, dude. For me, instant breakup. Instant breakup. I don't like, honestly, this is all the information I would need. How are you?
No, I don't think I would instant breakup on this one.
Yeah. I would instant breakup,
but
immediately.
It is. I think too. It might take a second for it to dawn. Like it sounds like it's like dawning on OP. Like all the different things.
It takes a little bit for the older guys.
But I definitely could. Oh, these guys. But I think I could eventually break up. But I don't. I'm guessing I wouldn't do it instantly.
Yeah. I would immediately. Like, no question.
Yeah.
Riley, how about you?
Yeah, I would probably be breaking up because I mean I'm like, one, why wouldn't you trust me with that information, and two, the pride, because it's a big pride thing in my eyes.
I hate the stupidity of not wanting to be seen as unprestigious.
Yeah.
That
Also,
just irks me.
How stupid that reason is, but how smart all the lies are. Like, in a year, she never blew her cover. That is some next level shit.
We're
right
breaking
there.
up, but you should
Respect.
talk to this person.
We're breaking up, but CIA?
CIA. FBI.
We have a special mission for you.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, she'd probably be good. She's living a double life. Anyway, I didn't care for a second about the school she's at. I care that she was capable of fabricating this elaborate ruse.
Yeah.
If someone had asked me about her and where she was in the world, I would have answered with as much certainty as the sky is blue. To have my very conception of reality blown apart like that is melting my mind. She's been down the road for the entire time, for a year. The walls of her apartment I've been looking at behind her on our FaceTime calls are not where I had always imagined them to be. I'm just blown away. His reality is just crushed.
Yeah.
But the details she had to lie about to maintain the facade are what are eating me away most. I asked for her mailing address multiple times, and it's no wonder I never got it. She joined a team and promised to send me pictures of her new uniform and never did, obviously, because that would have ruined the lie. All the minutia required to maintain it is what is bothering me most. She had to dodge things and omit things and often straight up lie about things. I assume sometimes on the fly. The realization that she's capable of this is profoundly upsetting. I don't know what to do. She feels absolutely terrible, and she's been crying, and I don't want to just beat her up about it anymore because there's no point. I still love her, but I feel betrayed and made a fool. I don't know what to do. Should OP break up with his lying girlfriend?
Possible hot take. The lying is terrible, but the reason shows her lack of maturity so much that if I'm in OP's hypothetical shoes, I'm like, the lying is terrible and the immaturity of the reason.
The 10-year age gap would just be magnified.
Yes.
Right? Because there's all these people that are like, oh yeah, like the age gap is big, but like she's so mature or he's so mature, like whatever. And in this case, it's like, nah, she is lying about something that really wouldn't have even mattered, and it shows that she, one, is insecure, two, is massively manipulative and good at it, and three, just like is like young. She's just young. She's just young.
Yeah, and I do, in a way, I do feel bad for her about the insecurity, but it is such a stupid reason to lie the way she did.
Stupid reason, but respect on her name.
Look, respect to the game.
Respect the like that.
Respect.
That is messed up.
Yeah.
Messed up, but in like you have to have an insane level of skill to pull something off
1,000%.
like that. An insane level of skill, which terrifies me.
It does.
I don't think I would ever be with someone that skilled of a liar, which is why I would never date a poker player.
Oh, never even crossed my mind. Wow. Great point.
What about a psychologist?
They're not lying. I would date a psychologist.
Yeah.
Or a
Psychologist is
psychiatrist.
fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Either one.
What about like a veterinarian?
Yeah.
What are these random? What are these professions?
Well, the
that are
veterinarian
doing
said my dog would be fine, but they lied.
that? The dog.
It died.
It died. Would you date a veterinarian?
I would date a veterinarian,
Yeah.
They might lie
especially
to
if they
you.
put down your dog.
Hey-o!
But that's where the story ends.
And that's where the story ends.
That's it. So, John, break up or not?
Yeah. Break up.
Riley,
Break up.
break up. Unanimous decision. What do you think? Put your answers in the comments below. Would love to know. Break up or not?
My best friend's boyfriend convinced her I'm her best friend. I don't know how to convince him. We're really not that close. He doesn't love you, bro. My friend Sophia, 28 female, is upset at me, 27 male, for telling her boyfriend Noah that I am not her best friend. I am really lost on what I did wrong and why I am getting the blame for this fallout. By the way, this is cross-posted. This is originally from T.BFF456436 on our OK Storytime subreddit. You know what to do.
Ayo.
Drop your stories there if you want us to read them like this.
Drop it like it's hot.
Now, Sophia
No.
and I met due to a common friend and have known each other for the last 5 years. Sophia has been a good friend. And we would generally hang out on weekends with the rest of our friends. Why is this so scarily, like, this seems like it's being written about you?
I'm so frightened.
Yeah.
What did I do?
Sophia also lived in the same apartment complex as me, and we would sometimes hang out at my apartment along with other friends over to watch TV. Now, Sophia started dating Noah around 6 months ago. I noticed that Sophia started messaging me more than normal about random stuff like TV shows, music, etc., etc. Around the same time, we would send memes and TikToks all the time. She also messaged me if I want to hang out at my place after work during random weekday evenings. I would generally say no, unless more friends wanted to join in.
Okay, so he's trying to create some boundaries.
Yeah, it's pretty cold, Sophia.
Yeah,
That's pretty rough.
No, this is for him.
Oh, from you.
I'm trying to hang out with my bestie, and he's cutting me. He's shutting me down.
You're putting the wall up.
What?
Yeah.
No. Sophia's the one who's trying to reach out, and OP is saying no.
Yeah, that's what I said. Of course. On a Saturday night, we were all at my friend's apartment for a party. Sophia and one of my friends left to pick up food, and Noah came to me and asked if we could talk for a few minutes.
Man to man.
Man to man.
Mano y mano.
Ooh.
That's just hand to hand, though.
Anyways, Noah told me that being a guy, I should understand, and he is uncomfortable about my friendship with Sophia. Now,
Interesting.
I asked him why he said that, and he understands we are best friends, but he is uncomfortable with her always texting me late at night or hanging out with me at my apartment on nights when he is busy. He said that he has discussed it with Sophia many times, but she told him that she will not tolerate him controlling how she behaves with her best friend,
Or bestie.
her bestie.
Yikes.
He said that he is getting very serious about his relationship with Sophia, and if he should know something before he commits his whole heart.
Whoa.
The truth is,
What's the truth?
Sophia and I are good friends, but we are not best friends.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like she's been trying to hang out with him, and he's like, no.
It's giving she wants to get with him, and he's
Yeah.
like, I'm cool. We can hang out as a group, but
Yeah, we'll hang out as, like, yeah.
which
in group
honestly, I
situations.
think, I mean, really quickly, what's your take? I feel like that's a pretty, but I could see if it's like if I was in OP shoes, I felt like, oh, this is like kind of a lot. I might kind of gently put the wall up, and be like, hey, like I don't want to like hang out late in the evening when
Yeah.
you know your partner's not around or
Yeah,
whatever.
let's wait for everyone
get
to come.
together and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that Sophia's acting a little suspicious.
I think Sophia is acting a little suspicious as well.
Mm.
She is, I said that Sophia is just one of 8 girls in my friends group. Just a number. Just a human meat bag that I spend time with in the friends group that I hang out with, and never have we shared any deep personal secrets about ourselves. I told Noah that he has nothing to worry about. I told him that I would not refer to Sophia as my best friend. In fact, before she started dating Noah, we barely messaged each other.
Ooh.
I also told him that I never hang out with Sophia alone and that she only visits my place when other friends are invited. Noah asked me if we ever dated or hooked up in the past. I told him that Sophia brought up the subject 5 years ago. More context.
I think Sophia's trying to make something happen with OP, and OP's not interested, but she's still trying.
It's so double whack. She's in a relationship.
She's in a relationship.
And she's presumably, it seems, we're going to find out, pursuing someone who is not interested in her.
Yes.
What are we doing?
It seems also like she started trying to pursue him when she got into the relationship.
Yes!
Which is interesting.
Sophia!
Time. I'm sorry!
Sophia!
Well, what can I say?
But, what can I say?
I'm a juggler!
I'm a nice guy, girl. But I told her why I would not want to date her, and we have never talked about it again. Noah asked me why Sophia would refer to me as her best friend then, and I told him that I also find it weird because we are good friends, but definitely not best friends. Noah thanked me for being honest, and the night went on. Now, yesterday afternoon, I got a call from Sophia, and she was really mad at me. She asked me what I told Noah, and I told her about our conversation. She told me I was an a-hole to tell Noah that we are not best friends and how I messed up her relationship. I told her I did not say anything bad about her, and in fact soothed his concerns that there was anything going on between us. She told me she had a pretty big fight the night after the party, and Noah confronted her about why would she call me her best friend and tell him that you're in my apartment alone when none of those things happened. She told me that I should have just backed up her story.
But you're not best friends. Why would he back it up?
Just lie.
Just
Hey,
lie.
Sophia.
Why didn't you lie about the thing that I didn't give you any heads up?
Yeah, couldn't you just like telepathically read my mind, please?
Why didn't you know that I wanted you to lie about this? It's so rude. I know you thought you were helping when you told my boyfriend that we're not sleeping together, but actually, you made it worse.
You know what? I'm breaking up with you.
I think it's also funny that Sophia got friend zoned, and then is also being like, "You're not even my friend."
Dude. Not only were you like, oh, we're not in a relationship, we're not even best friends.
Friends.
You're demoted to good friend.
Yeah.
Which
Riley says that's a Sophia move.
What have I done?
And I like totally agree. Yeah, no, classic Sophia.
Classic
Wait a minute.
Deadly Cat 667 says Sophia is a red flag.
Why'd you say that?
Well,
On the day that my tire popped? Really?
yeah,
You're
I
gonna go
think this
there?
is a bad day for some of you guys.
It's a bad freaking
Classic
day.
Sophia pretending like a tire is her best friend, you know?
When it wasn't even her best tire.
Yeah.
It was a good tire.
It was a good tire.
Getting
on
mad at the tire
Sunday.
for popping after she
Oh.
called.
Classic. But I feel bad for Sophia, as I really feel they're both cute together and Noah really likes her. Sophia has told us how much she adores Noah and that they are happy together. Really?
Are they though?
It's hard for me to understand why Sophia would lie to Noah that we are best friends and we hang out alone together when he is busy. Am I wrong to tell Noah that Sophia and I are not best friends and I should have just played along? I am not really sure I even understand why I messed up or what to do at this point. There is a pretty thick update with an edit.
Ooh, a thick update.
But let's stop right here.
I'm stopping.
First question.
Yeah.
Has OP done anything wrong?
No. OP, I don't even think OP is actually a part of this story. You know?
You're so
It's not even his story to tell, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like Sophia was like talking to her boyfriend and they had some sort of argument, and she just pointed at a random passerby, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what OP's role is in this.
Yeah, it's like, look at this guy. See,
Yeah.
this guy would never do this to me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, me?
Me?
Me? Yeah.
It seems like this would be Noah's story.
Yeah, this
You know?
is
Yes.
Noah's story.
Noah should
Like
be submitting
Noah's
the
the
story.
one who should have come on Reddit and be like, "Yo,
Yeah.
my girlfriend lied to me about hanging out with a dude." It's like the opposite.
Yeah.
It's like
That is exactly correct.
anti-cheating. It's like, yeah, my girlfriend said she was kind of cheating on me when she really wasn't.
Dude, anti-cheating is kind of a banger genre of stories.
More
not cheating.
anti-cheating stories.
Anti-cheating, yeah.
She's like, my story's not cool enough. I gotta add in some drama.
Yeah.
I gotta manufacture drama.
Yeah, but you know what we don't need to manufacture?
This update.
This update. So, I posted yesterday about my friend lying to her boyfriend that I was her best guy friend. When in reality, we are just friends and she only started messaging me after she started dating her boyfriend. She adores her boyfriend, allegedly, and it was confusing to me why she would do that. Turns out, Sophia is a genius mastermind, and I'm scared. I'm scared too. Sophia, I'm scared.
I'm frightened.
Sophia,
John, I'm frightened.
I'm scared of Sophia.
Something's up.
Something's
There's
up.
a plot.
All right. So thanks for the responses on helping me think why she might be doing it. I just wanted to post an update because she came to my apartment and talked to me about the whole situation. She said some unkind things to me on Sunday after I told Noah, her boyfriend, that we were just friends and definitely not best friends as she is trying to portray me. Moreover, I also told him that I never hang out with her alone, and it's generally with a group of friends, as she lied about this to him. Yesterday evening, Sophia messaged me to apologize for the outburst and asked if we could meet, and she can explain why she did that.
I need to know.
Sophia needs to know what Sophia said.
I gotta know what I said.
I told her, okay, OP, and she came to my apartment. She told me that she loves Noah and he is a really good boyfriend.
Okay.
However, he is not very motivated and lazy. When they started dating, he was not really putting a lot of effort into the relationship, and she had to ask him for everything. It used to bother her a lot. She knew that Noah's last girlfriend cheated on him, and it took him 2 years before he started dating again.
Ooh.
Noah was very insecure about dating her and asked her to make sure that she shares everything with him. Sophia said that Noah is a great guy, but she needed him to be a better boyfriend.
Sophia's deserve better.
Sophia's deserve better. Sophia's deserve better.
I'm gonna write that on a
Yeah.
poster. I'm just gonna start walking around in the house.
Yeah.
I'm going, Sophia's deserve better.
Sophia's deserve better. I love that. T-shirt.
Ooh.
don't know. So she thought she would make Noah jealous by talking to me.
It's all coming together.
All coming together.
The pieces are aligning.
Mhm.
Pangea is reforming.
She said it worked, and Noah started reading our messages. She knew that I would not flirt back with her because I explicitly told her that I'm not interested in her, and so she thought I was a safe choice.
Yikes.
Wow.
She
She's
literally just did pick him at random.
this is a game of chess, ladies and gentlemen.
Crazy.
She said Noah kept on asking her why she is talking to me so often, and she told him that I am her best friend and she needs the emotional support and stability I provide since Noah is not emotionally available for her. That made Noah start replying to her messages quickly and also being more present in the relationship.
Communicating with your partner. Masterminding a whole plot to
Dude.
make them jealous.
I mean,
Ooh.
this is bananas.
That's wild.
Noah also wasted his evenings playing video games with his friends and ignored her. So she would message me on those days and ask if she can hang out with me.
Doesn't sound like Noah is a good boyfriend.
Dude, I do agree
Like,
with that.
I feel like this whole story, they've been like, Noah's a great boyfriend. Sophia and Noah are so cute together. Is he though?
The more people say, oh, he's such a
Yeah.
good person, oh, he's such a great boyfriend,
The less I
more
believe it.
they are terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
The more they're
I
terrible.
agree.
She lied to Noah that we could just sit at my apartment and watch movies since he was unavailable, and it used to bother him. He asked her to stop, but she told him that he can play his games and she can have a fun evening with me.
Okay. And she's probably like, and I can have a fun evening with OP.
Exactly. Noah repeatedly asked her to cut contact with me or at least not hang out with me alone in my apartment, and eventually stopped playing video games with his friends so he can hang out with her in the evenings. She would also lie to him about how I cooked elaborate meals for her, and we had wine and painting nights, which led Noah to do the same. And finally,
He's like, he buys me flowers every day.
yeah.
He gives me $10 at lunch.
He buys me a new car every month.
He took me on a cruise.
Yes. Finally, she told me that I was an a-hole to not go with her story and tell Noah the truth.
Oh my God.
The audacity, Sophia.
Opie is just an innocent bystander and is being thrown under the bus.
Dude.
Like, he probably thought, you know what? No, I'll make sure that he doesn't, this guy doesn't think that I'm cheating with his girlfriend, and it just backfired on him.
Dude, this is insanity.
Yeah.
Noah, of course, got angry at her and saw that it was an act to get him to change. Sophia was so proud of her latest lie. She told Noah that I played down our relationship because I was trying to protect Sophia. She told him that I'm such a great guy and was just trying to make sure that my best friend's relationship was not affected because of me. I told her that I was not really happy being a pawn in her lies.
He's a pawn in our game of deception.
Dude. So she told me that it was a genius idea and there were no victims.
OP.
Guys.
OP is a victim.
What's happening? Anthony, Sophia.
Justice for OP.
Please tell me. Am I missing something?
I don't think we're missing anything. That's the crazy thing.
I think we know everything. I think we've completely comprehended all of the parts of this story. They just make no sense.
Full clarity, and it's just the ugliest picture.
Yeah.
She told me that it was a genius idea and that there were no victims. She got what she wanted, and Noah is a much better boyfriend thanks to me. It's all worked out.
This is what the Queen's Gambit is about.
And she will now show Noah how much she loves him by slowly reducing the messages to me, which he would appreciate, while still thinking of me as a threat that Sophia can fall back on if he changes his loving behavior. She pleaded me to just keep quiet for her sake as she is so happy with the way Noah is now. I have to stop right here.
Yeah.
We need a poll.
Do you tell the truth?
Expose
Yeah.
or not?
Honestly,
Expose or not?
I think just stop being friends with her fully. I think get yourself out of there. I don't think you even have to tell Noah because you're just going to be caught in so much more drama. Just leave.
I hear you.
No, I think John's asking, do you tell Noah?
I know that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying just leave the friendship. I think that OP is like being put in so much drama for no reason.
But is he not friends with Noah?
No.
I believe he is.
Well,
friends with Noah.
I thought they were just kind of like the same friendship level as Sophia.
I think he only started really talking with Sophia once they started dating. That was when they
so they are
their
more
friendship
friends. Okay.
blossomed. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, then I guess if they're close friends,
Yeah.
yes. If he's closer to Noah than he is to Sophia, tell him. If he's not, just get rid of them as friends because they kind of suck.
She sucks.
Yeah, I mean Noah doesn't suck, but
He seems like a crappy boyfriend, but it's like that's kind of like besides the point as far as OP is concerned.
Isn't that like crabby?
No,
he's like,
crappy.
oh, this girl's hanging out with this guy.
No, but the reason, okay, so obviously I don't condone anything that Sophia's doing and she should have communicated, but the reason that she started doing it is because he wasn't paying attention to her at all and wasn't hanging out with her.
Yeah, like
so he was a bad boyfriend.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But like I guess it's just a question of whether or not OP is actually like close friends with Noah.
My slightly different take is listen, if I'm in OP's position, I get caught up in this whole scheme. I don't want to be friends with these people.
That's what I'm saying.
And but at the same time, I'm also like, I need some retribution for the headache that you've got me when I was so completely innocent. I mean, OP was purely a bystander.
Exactly.
So I'm kind of like, I'm going to go back to Noah and be like, listen up, buddy. She's literally like, can you just keep up the lies a little bit longer so I can like coerce him into being a better boyfriend? I'd also probably be like, dude, you seem like not a great boyfriend.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but I don't
He's
think
a
he
different ball.
deserves to be manipulated.
No, I
think
agree. I think
either-
that she should communicate with him.
Yeah, so I think you tell Noah.
Well, I
Kinda-
don't think their relationship is OP's responsibility
Yeah.
necessarily.
Personally, I think unless he is like besties with Noah,
Yeah.
I would just step out. He's done like he's a little pawn that keeps getting moved and like around by both. I mean, Noah is confronting him about it. Sophia's manipulating all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's just a headache that I wouldn't want to be a part of.
But if you don't say anything, you're almost more involved because now the web of lies can continue.
I see what you're saying.
And so you don't even know. If you sort of just say, it's not for me, then she can be like, yeah, on Friday I went to the bowling alley with him and he gave me this gift. And it's like, you don't even know that she's saying that.
Let's say this is me, like
Yes.
I'm OP and you're Noah.
yes.
I would absolutely tell you that this was
Yes.
going on. But if this is just kind of a person that I'm acquaintances with,
Joe Blow.
I would be like, I'm going to block Sophia. I'm going to kind of distance myself from that, those two people. And then if she texts me, I'm not going to answer anything.
There is more to the story.
Ooh.
And an update. We're not even at the update yet. So I thought about it and I agreed with her. And this is, let me read the last sentence actually. She pleaded me to just keep quiet for her sake as she is so happy with the way Noah is now. I thought about it and I agreed with her. It feels weird that she is literally training Noah like a lab monkey and behaving the way she wants.
Loving him.
But at the end of the day, he seems to have become a better boyfriend thanks to Sophia's plan. This is a curveball I don't think
Okay,
any of us were
this wasn't-
expecting.
this is the third
I
option that I
think
don't
this is just
agree
his initial
Thoughts.
thoughts.
the kind of
Yeah, we don't know
gut
what,
check.
yeah.
Just like right after, I think he might change.
Yeah.
I was conflicted on what to do, but I will just go with the act for Sophia's sake, as Noah also likes her and there is no reason to mess things up for them. I would like to hear neutral opinions on if I am wrong with helping Sophia lie to Noah, as it seems like it has made the relationship better, and Sophia seems to be happy. Oh, wow. Okay, we're actually a lot closer to the end of the story than I thought.
No.
But let's get into this quick edit. Edit number 1, after reading the comments, I am now inclined to tell Noah the truth.
All right.
However, I feel that he would still choose to believe Sophia over me. Moreover, I am worried that he would think I am trying to break them up for my own selfish benefits.
I just
Dude,
think it's drama, man.
the plot is thickening. I don't want him to think that I am her best friend who has feelings for her and hence am trying to get them to break up. Ergo, so OP could swoop in
Yeah.
and get her, which I could see the boyfriend thinking that is something that could happen. Would you have believed your partner's friend if they came forward and told you this? Won't you think that the friend is just manipulating you into breaking up? By the way, guys, we're live every weekday at 3 p.m. You should join us and tap on our profile.
Join us.
But guys, I'm gonna tap on your little brains one last time. We're almost at the end of the story, but a quick check. Are we still tell him and don't tell him to pick a side as we always do?
Operating under the assumption that they are not that close, I think that just distancing yourself does kind of the same thing as telling him. Because let's say Sophia starts messaging you, you're not responding. And then Noah texts you like later and he's like, Sophia's been saying all this stuff. And you're like, I haven't talked to her at all.
Yeah.
I think that does the same thing. And you get yourself away from the drama.
And he realizes that
She's been lying about even talking. If she continues to say, I've been talking to OP, we've been doing all this, and OP's like, I haven't seen her in months.
here's
we're not
my
friends
here's
anymore.
my screenshot of her texting
Yeah.
me 10 times and
And
my
I'm
no
not
responses.
responding. I think if Noah comes back again and asks, I think that OP could then say something. But right now, I think with what he said of Noah maybe not believing him, I think I would distance myself from the friendship, and I think that does the same thing.
What say you, Sir Anthony?
I just think there's no way this pans out well.
That's what Yeah.
Like, there's no world in which this relationship ends well if you don't try to clear things up now. Like, there's no way Noah and Sophia go on to have a great relationship.
Yeah, that take from OP was crazy.
Like, the fact that he's just gonna be like, I'll just let him fit. Seems like things are going
well,
well. Like, there's
I
no,
don't like
say
that
things do
one.
progress, then the asterisk is near this is over this relationship the whole time.
I think at this point I'm on the side of tell, just to like, it's basically like we've seen in a lot of situations where people go no contact. Here's my whole here's basically the explanation and the like setting the boundary of like I'm out. And like, here's all the stuff, here's what's happening, to further control and then kind of like go more no contact with them, just purely out of self-interest.
Yeah.
Because imagine you don't say anything.
Yeah.
And then something flares up or it comes out later. And it's like, well, I thought about telling you.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have the paper trail of you saying like, remember I tried to tell you, that type of thing.
Yeah. I like Emre's thing, maybe, of saying he doesn't have to tell Noah everything, but maybe just reach out to Noah and say, hey, I'm stepping back from Sophia to respect the relationship, so OP can't be used going forward. I think that's a good one. You know, Sophia can't attack you. Noah can't attack you. It's just saying,
it's not vindictive.
I'm done.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm stepping back.
Which
very
I think
clean,
still
very
is in
simple.
line of what I was saying, of just taking yourself, but then you're actually just saying, like, explicitly, I'm distancing myself from the friendship.
Yeah, and then anytime she's like, oh, well, I'm going to go to his apartment, she's like,
nope.
Read it.
She's not there.
This is the story, not the text.
I think that is my
And
thoughts.
John has live text.
This just in. But you know what is just in? The final edit to this story.
What?
Maybe we'll see a breakup.
Oh my god.
We have like 2 paragraphs left, basically. Woo.
Woo.
So, thanks to everyone for your input. I really thought about telling Noah. I have decided not to tell him. I do not have any messages that would prove that she is lying. Moreover, I am scared she might manipulate Noah into believing I am her guy best friend and desperately trying to break them up after Noah told me he wants to be more serious with her, Sophia. I risk losing my friends if they tell this narrative to all of my friends. God, as much as I realize that she is playing on Noah's worst insecurities, I do not have a way to tell him without risking a social suicide. Sophia's plan is foolproof. There's no way I can convince Noah without any solid proof. I will, however, avoid her and not reply to her messages and only interact with her in social settings.
She's like a mafia boss. She's like, I can weed out that rat.
Literally.
If you say anything, if you're a freaking narc, I'm coming after you.
This is Game of Thrones level, like
no, that's why
politicking and
that's why I think OP has to distance from this friendship. Which is, I guess, what he's saying he's going to do.
And I think I'm still on. I think if you say it, you control your own narrative. Whereas if you say nothing, you're kind of exposed for being pulled in, and who knows what can say about you. At least you've like said your piece and set your narrative first before.
Yeah. I think I still like Emre's approach of just saying, I'm going to, like, telling him that.
Exactly.
I think that's maybe the best one I've heard.
Yes. I agree, and that's it.
I agree, and no further comments.
No further comments, no further story.
Should you go no contact with toxic family?
No?
My father-in-law told my husband I cheated on him, but it was a lie.
Why you always lying?
What do I do? And this comes from Sweet Salmon, and they say, my husband and his dad are best friends. They work together, hang out together. I've always known his dad didn't like me, but things got worse after we moved out of his house and got our own. He'll act nice to me in front of my husband, except for some non-funny jokes or smart comments. But the minute my husband is not around, he gets rude to me, like reminding me that I come from a poor family, would never have a big house or nice car if it wasn't for his son.
What?
He just constantly insinuates that I married his son for money, which is not true. I got tired of mentioning it to my husband because he just brushes it off. My father-in-law has told me a couple times that I should divorce his son before he tells me the truth.
What truth?
That's ominous.
What does that even mean?
What truth?
Also, what a terrible friend and dad. I knew I haven't done anything wrong, so I didn't know what to say. I even asked my husband exactly 2 weeks ago what would happen if his dad made up some lies about me, and he said his dad would never do that. Well, he did. He told my husband that he has seen me around town with a man multiple times and that I was seen getting a hotel room with the same man. He claims he's seen us kiss. I wasn't around when he told my husband this. I told him it's a lie, but I can tell he is now doubting my word. I asked if his dad had some kind of proof, and he said no. Then he told me he needs to be away from me for a few days to clear his head. Straight to the layer of the cheater. No, not the cheater, but the liar.
A liar.
The liar. Liar! To me, that means he believes his dad's lies. Why would his dad go out of his way to do this, and why would he just believe it? This just seems so unfair. You'd think he would at least expect some proof before shutting me out and treating me like I did something wrong. I don't know if I'm supposed to beg him to come back or just let his dad's plan work. I know the longer he stays there, the more he will just believe his lies. John, what do you think OP should do in this situation?
I think, I'm trying to think because one, you could be like, if you say with like, where's the evidence? You kind of sound like you're lying, but truly that is at the crux of it. It's like, okay, where is the actual evidence? Maybe you could sit down and be like, hey, I have literally nothing to hide. Ask your father for the evidence. Cause I think that like, if I were in your position, I would want to do that and see like, okay, where's the evidence and break it down for me. And it's like the dad has none, but if OP maybe encourages him to do that and says like, hey, I have nothing to hide. If you want to look in all my phone records and everything and like have full access, I would be thrilled to give you that.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think first, really sit down with yourself and ask yourself, is this a pattern with my husband, or is this a one-time thing? Is everything actually good in the relationship, or is this emblematic of a larger problem in the relationship? If it is a one-time thing, then I think you can like do what you said, where it's where you get more information, or you let him investigate or whatever and be super open. Because like I could see it both ways, really, because it's like that's his dad and best friend.
It's tough. And when someone says like, oh, I saw her with a guy, like you kind of implicitly trust it a bit, you know what I mean?
Especially if it's your dad.
Yeah, it's like, why would they lie to me?
Dad and best
Dad
friend.
sucks.
Dad and best friend, exactly. Dad and best friend.
Dad and best friend.
That's
best
tough.
friend.
I mean, I do kind of feel for the husband.
Yeah, I understand why the husband would be a little like shaky, because it's like the most important person. When your most important person in your life is saying stuff like that, it's gonna shake your confidence.
Totally,
for sure. So I mean, I guess like in if you were with a partner and they had their like mom or dad and best friend say like, I saw John sneaking around with some lady after CrossFit.
I'm not in CrossFit. You'll see it in the other episode. Anyways, keep going.
Inside joke. But if like, what would you, and then your partner's like, hey, I just heard this from my dad. I don't even know what to believe. I need some space.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I think expanding a little bit on what I said before, hey, take as much space as you need. I would probably want space too. You should take as much time and space as you need for yourself. And if you're ready, I'd be happy to provide evidence, or not provide evidence. If you want to look through the phone book,
I'd be happy to be an open book for whatever you need.
Look through literally everything. I want to be here and support you in this process, both with that, emotionally, like literally whatever you need. And probably best to leave it at that. I'm a little bit tempted to be like, hey, if I were in your position, I would ask them for evidence, and I think that you should have that with them saying that, but maybe that's a little bit too far. Maybe you take the ultimate high road, and you're just like, I will give you everything. I'll be here to support you. You can look through everything, and then step back and let them.
Do you blame OP's husband at all for believing his dad?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
If my parents came to me and they were like, "Hey, I saw so and so," especially if like both of them,
especially if you have like a good relationship with your father or mother, like I think it's different if you know that your parent is a lying sack of shit.
Yeah,
Poop.
yeah.
But if they aren't, then it's, or at least you know them as someone that is a friend, then it makes it a lot harder.
It does. But the OP knows for sure that the father-in-law is a stinky man, but I wonder if the father has been able to hide that from. It's kind of unclear. It's kind of, to me, it's a little bit unclear of. It seems like OP's husband was defending the father more than realizing he's the stinky man. OP's husband.
OP's husband. Well, yeah, because he doesn't know the stink.
Yeah.
Like I think OP's husband's dad is able to withhold his stench from his own son.
He puts cologne on.
He puts cologne on. Doesn't even know, but it wears off when he's not around. JP Dreamer says can't blame the hubby, which I agree with. Miss Killed It. Pinky DeSlayer says yes, you can blame the husband. Silver Clover says, what are your thoughts on his best friend being his dad? I hear girls all the time saying my best friend is my mom, so I feel like that's like a thing.
Oh, okay. So he was saying his dad is his best friend.
Yeah, his best friend and his dad and best friend.
Yeah, his dad and best friend. His best friend.
I thought you were saying that his best friend, a wholly separate person.
No.
And his dad.
No.
But his dad happens to also be his best friend.
Yeah. My husband and his dad are best friends.
Got it. I was confused.
His dad
there.
best friend.
I thought you were saying there was Bob the best friend and
No.
Chad the dad.
No, dad best friend.
Right.
So
yeah.
Like I don't know, what do you think?
No, still the same. Still like yeah, I mean you're kind of like impartial to.
But do you think there's anything weird about his dad being his best friend? Yeah, I don't think so.
That's
either.
fine. That's great.
Scooter Kid says not inherently sus to be friends with your dad. Kimberly Fine says he's nose blind. Have you heard that term? I've never heard that term. What does that mean?
Just nose blind. Yeah.
Kimberly Fine. What does that mean?
Blue Alky was saying that too.
He can't see clearly.
He can't see past his own nose.
His nose. That's what I was thinking.
Because
like
he only see this close to the issue.
Like this is my dad. I trust him. Yeah. Versus like, oh hey, my dad has actually like
he's not looking further.
He's not looking any further of like, oh like maybe my wife has been telling me that my dad has been mistreating her, and like, oh maybe he's like actually plotting to separate us. He's just like, no, my dad is my best friend. That's all I can only see here.
That's my dad and my best friend.
Nose blind to the stink. Love Bubble can't smell the stink. Nose blind means he can't smell the stink.
That's a cool.
That's funny.
That's like another new like verb in our community. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe it's
we have a whole dictionary on Discord of like terms that we've created. Someone put that.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's super sick.
That's so sick.
That's a cool like introductory thing of like, here's all the terms. So you're.
It's part of the introductory stuff. Yeah.
Oh well.
Wait, there was a good comment. Can you scroll up, Sophia? So I go up. Yes. Sorry, here you go. So Brittany W says my boyfriend's mom is pretty much his best friend, and it's given us issues before. It makes the relationship so much harder. So I sympathize with OP. There is, I feel like an ick that I've seen at least online is Mama's Boys.
Yeah. Well, the problem is when it's not bad on its own that they have a close friendship. It's bad when the parent is terrible to other people or the partner, and they're able to use their sway and influence since they are both the parent and the best friend.
It's bad when they're being bad.
It's bad when they're being bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's bad when they're being bad and your partner doesn't hold them accountable.
Yes.
Yeah. Katie Lynn says, I can't believe you guys have never heard the term nose blind. Sophia, you hadn't heard it.
I'm ear blind because I haven't heard it.
I'm just dumb blind.
Sorry.
I'm brain blind. All right. Relevant comments. So Glittering Wonder 30 says, confront him and record it, either video or an audio recording. Since he goes out of his way to do this every time hubby is not around, that's the perfect chance for you to catch him in his lies. Maybe record a phone call. Smart. OP responds, I called him as soon as my husband told me because I was trying to get some proof that he's lying. He didn't say anything incriminating and kept saying things like, I can't believe you do this to him, as if he really believes that I cheated. I'm wondering if he knew I was trying to record him, that or he's absolutely crazy.
The method actor.
Yeah. OP on her husband believing his father if there are no proof OP cheated on him. OP responds, especially when he doesn't have any proof. Why is it easy for him to believe his dad's word over mine? An affair is so easy to prove. If I'm having one and I'm seen around town, why can't he prove it? I asked for all of that and he kept saying that's irrelevant because he trusts his dad. Then he said his dad doesn't have proof because he never had time to take a picture of me with the other guy. It's literally his word against mine and he decided to listen to his dad. I'm thinking of giving up for sure. This is so unfair. I never cheated on him. I've never done anything wrong. His dad is accusing me with absolutely no proof. And if it's that easy for him to see me as an awful person, who would do this? Then I guess he never trusted me. So, I mean, it's good. It's a good point. It's like, how strong was your relationship if he won't even hear you out?
This is a little crazy, but maybe you're like, let's take a lie detector test. Me and your dad. Let's freaking
See
honestly
who wins.
Just to embarrass the dad, I would want to do that.
But I feel like at this point, if I was OP, I think, like, I understand him wanting to believe his dad, but at this point, I would be like, you haven't even given me a chance.
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
I don't even necessarily want to do it for the relationship, but just for the sake
for
of
the
like,
meme.
it's just so infuriating. Like, I am not lying, and I will prove it to you. It's just that's just my
His dad is accusing me with absolutely no proof, and if it's easy, if it's that easy for him to see me as an awful person who would do this, then I guess he never trusted me. He doesn't realize how awful of a person his dad is. I've been trying to tell him for so long, and at this point, it's just not worth it.
Yep.
His dad thinks I'm just here for the money, and I don't know why. I'm about to leave and start over on my own. I don't need the car or the house. I'm here because I love the guy, but obviously he doesn't love me enough to at least ask for proof before seeing me as a bad person. I'd rather be on my own than continue to deal with this. If his dad is willing to go this far, who knows what's coming next? And then OP on finding a way to prove the truth. You just reminded me that we do have Ring cameras. Now I just need to know what days and times I was supposedly out cheating at a hotel, because chances are I was home those days and maybe I can use the rings to prove it. Thank you so much. And there is an update 3 weeks later. But Bethany says at this point the relationship is wrecked.
I agree.
I think so. It's
Why
like the
even
trust
go
is
through the
broken.
trouble?
Yeah. It's
that
like
point?
a relationship is all about trust. And when the trust is broken, it's really hard to come back from.
Hard to come back.
And also, like, the trust goes so deep with a father and son bond, especially if you have like a really strong relationship and a friendship there. And so, like, the question at the beginning of the episode is, should you go no contact with toxic family? Like, should you cut off the people you are seeing because of toxic family? And this might be something that is just too hard to get through.
I think so at this point. I feel like the boyfriend should have at least been conflicted.
Exactly.
Like, I trust both of you so equally that I don't know what to do.
And the fact that there was no hesitation is a red flag.
Yep.
But Blue Alky 12 says, yeah, I hope his dad can satisfy all his needs now.
Oh, God.
That was a good oh God. All right, update 3 weeks later. I posted a few weeks ago after my father-in-law, who hates me, lied to my husband that I was cheating. Also, for anyone who has had to deal with a close relationship with their partner and the partner's mom or dad, and it's gotten in the way of the relationship, go DM Riley on Discord right now and we'll bring you up on stage and get your perspective. So go do it if you have one of those stories. But getting back to this story. My husband just fell for the lies without even asking for proof. Then things got crazy. He assumed his dad was telling the truth and left our house to go stay at his dad's. I kept telling him if his dad is telling the truth, then he has to be able to show some kind of proof. I'm guessing that didn't happen because my husband came back and apologized for not trusting me more.
Not bad.
Bring that back to me one more time.
Basically, the husband came back and he apologized for not trusting her more.
That's good.
That's good.
Good.
Is
Very
it
good
too
time.
late?
It just might. I think it might be.
How long was he? Well, how long was he there? Like a week or two? It's a long time.
I could see after a week, possibly.
Maybe he's getting to the bottom of the relationship with his dad.
And-
He didn't say he didn't trust her necessarily. He said I needed time.
He did say that.
He did say he needed time. So
I
maybe
think.
that's
I
fine.
think he was sided like if there's a spectrum, he was like closer on siding with his dad, but he maybe didn't go
All of
past
it.
the point of no return.
Yeah. But ever since he's been back, he's been obsessed with the idea of getting pregnant. That went from 0 to 100.
Oh my.
Talking about it constantly. Physically trying. I keep telling him, I'm 23. I'm not ready.
Whoa.
Of course we'll have babies, but I just want to keep working on us, especially with what just happened. He doesn't like my answers. Now he's calling me suspicious and says my answers don't make sense to him. It feels like we're back to him not trusting me. I don't know what's going on. I just want some kind of outside endpoint. I just want some kind of outside input because I'm starting to really wonder if this relationship is even working. Yeah, what the F? Carasosa, what the F? Tiny Cactus. Yuck.
Baby trapping.
Wow.
Yeah, I think maybe this is the apple not falling far from the tree. Ergo, the son is crazy like the dad.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that is crazy.
Maybe the son is getting exposed that like he's actually just not the one.
Toxic.
Toxic. Toxic.
Comments. Lassa Apso Smile says he wants you pregnant so you are tied to him. He is deeply insecure and suspicious. I'd sit him down and say that what his father did deeply hurt you. Ask him if he is sorry about that. Then say that partners make big decisions like babies together. Is he ready to be a partner? And keep your birth control in a locked cabinet or get an IUD. I feel like this is, I don't know.
This is
getting a little bit
venturing
too
into
much.
yeah.
This is getting a little too much. And also, like, I don't know what she means by physically trying, but that feels weird. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I feel like it would mean a whole slew of things.
Yeah.
But even that sentence, I'm like, hold up.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Hold up. Let's, yeah.
Now you
Nairness
deserve
is-
some space.
Yeah. I feel like this is
Step
bad.
back.
Jemima Aslana says, I don't trust for a second that he has let go of his dad's ideas. Getting you pregnant will prevent you from cheating in the minds of some men, but even worse, it will bind you to him through the baby. Be very, very mindful of your birth control. When he's insistent and has no respect for your wishes, he may try to sabotage your birth control. Do not make do with condoms. They are easy to sabotage or slip off. Pills can be messed with. Make sure you either get the shot, implant, or an IUD. Don't let him baby trap you. Get counseling. Get him to come clean about whatever BS his dad's been spewing about how to ensure your loyalty. And usually, I'm like, whoa, Reddit comment, that's way too far. But in this situation, like, I kind of agree.
I
Totally.
think not far enough in that comment. I think they
Yeah.
should be saying leave.
Yeah. Like
Agreed.
like basically OP should say, hey, I don't want to have intercourse right now, and like we need time, and you need to just respect that. If he has any answer other than absolutely, of course, you're totally right, let me give you all the space you need,
Yeah.
then anything that isn't as good as that answer is grounds for like, all right, I'm staying at a friend's house, whatever response you want and whatever space you need. 100%.
She 1000% needs to leave. This is like, it was already when we were starting, it was venturing into uncomfortable territory, and now it's like, get out.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'm curious what y'all would do. Would you stay or would you go?
That's the question.
Would you stay or would you go? And also, let's say, I feel like it's more obvious that OP should go in this situation, but
Yeah.
on the first update, is the toxic father enough to just cut off? Like, going back to the question, using this story as a data point, is a toxic family member enough to cut off a relationship? Yeah, I feel like this poll is going to be 100%.
Yeah.
All right,
Pretty not.
95%.
96.
Yeah,
It's not
I feel like most people are going to say go.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
But do we have anyone from the Discord that wants to talk about their weird familial relationships, and also if OP should have cut off contact in the first update for just being a little weird relationship between the dad and the husband.
We do indeed. Hold on.
We are holding on. Radish says, "Who is saying stay?" Good question.
I don't know.
There's a 2%. There's a 2% out there.
Is that just one vote though?
It could. Yeah, that could be literally.
Sophia, can I see?
One vote.
What?
Can we look if I guess 65 votes. Okay, yeah. So that was it's one person. 99% of you are saying go. Who is the one person that is saying
Someone's
to stay?
just trolling the poll. They're
Someone's trolling the poll. You're a poll troll.
Exactly.
You're a poll troll right now.
Duchess Cassandra says, at the very least, I'd leave the house and prep for the eventuality of divorce. So kind of pre-divorce, kind of like I'm gonna leave to give myself space and kind of like get my ducks in a row for the possibility of divorce.
We are also ready whenever you are.
Oh,
let's do it.
Woo!
Spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel.
Also, think Riley could help us with the proportions.
Oh yeah, Sophia, good idea.
The whole wheel.
Woo!
Uh-oh.
Pigeon General.
Pigeon
The
General.
one.
All right, Pigeon General, we're pulling you up right now.
I like the clap sound effect.
I know. It makes me feel like we won something.
Yeah.
Hello, Pigeon General. Are you with us?
Hey.
How's it going?
Good.
Awesome. So, starting with, have you had a situation where you or a partner was a little bit too close to one of their parents and it made things weird in the relationship? To get a little context and before we go into this story.
I can't say too much because relationships, I'm kind of more new into that field.
Okay.
My current relationship I'm in right now, she's really close for mom, but that's for like good reason. She has like medical issues and stuff like that. So all of it like has good reasons behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds
I can't put anything into that.
Okay, so sounds like it. In your case, it's a good thing. But I guess going now to the story. So, do you think before the second update where things got a little bit more sketchy, with the first update, do you think toxic family member was enough to cut a relationship completely? So it's like if the husband was totally in the clear, doing everything up by the board and was a good partner, but he was still close to the dad, who was a total terrible wild card, enough to cut off the relationship completely, because it's you don't want to deal with that.
Also, feel free. I saw your note about that you've had to cut out a toxic family member. So if that's informed anything, on your opinion,
and
let us know.
Yeah, and feel free to use that experience to give your opinion of the story.
Yeah. Sorry, it was a big question there. So my experience was my brother. He did a lot of things to me. He stole from me. He abused me when I was younger. So there was a lot of negative things there, and my parents never really chose to do much serious punishment for him. So he just kept doing it. And finally, after a good couple of years, we ended up just kind of drifting apart. And then he came back into my life a good couple years ago, I think 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, when I was laid up in my bed from being hit by a car, he ended up stealing from me during a time when I need money the most.
Oh
my goodness.
So at that point, I ended up just cutting him off there, and I was pretty much done.
Was it was it hard for you to cut him off in that moment, or did it feel like the obvious decision? Because regardless of how bad a relationship gets, I know it can be tough to cut a family member out, but also maybe it was just so much hurt and pain. It's easy.
It felt like the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
It felt like the grave was there, and all we just needed was just one more thing to be done, and it was finally done. I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. So I just before even doing it, I wanted to be sure with my decision. So I ended up actually seeing a therapist and talking to one for a little bit, just to make sure my decision.
Which literally is the advice that we give on this show
Yes.
all the time.
Love
It's
to
like
hear that.
before any big decision, whether it's, changing a relationship with a significant other or a family member or a friend, like any significant relationship that you have, really like talk to someone like through it first to make sure that you're seeing all angles. So really smart of you to do that.
And what do you think with your experience? Like, what do you think OP should do in their scenario?
OP scenario is a whole lot different compared to mine. OP has someone actively lying about them, which is definitely, I think, is a very dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Because I think I saw it was a comment, or she mentioned what would happen if this plan that the dad was trying to do didn't work. What would he do next? Considering he was lying about something that big,
Yeah.
what would be his next step?
Willing to up the ante.
Yeah.
Go even worse.
So I feel like in her shoes, I would be a little afraid for myself. I want to get out of the situation at least temporarily, and then try to figure out what's going on.
So would you end things with the partner?
I would say take a break, go to therapy, if that's up for discussion. At the very least, have like a sit down with OP and the dad and see if he's still saying those exact same things. Well, OP is right there, and the OP's son, the husband.
Yeah.
And if he is, I think at that point it might be not worth saving anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, have a sit down with your husband and the dad. See if you can resolve anything there. Regardless, take a step back, get some therapy. Tell your husband why you're stepping back, and then hopefully with the therapy and the time, you can make a decision that is as well informed as possible. But it seems like there's this leaning towards OP leaving completely, even in the situation where we don't know this second update that we got.
Yeah, it seems things are starting to take a more serious turn.
No, agreed.
So I think leaving should be the first thing. Getting somewhere safe should be like the first priority.
Yeah.
Smart.
Well, Pigeon
Very
General,
smart.
thank you so much for calling in with your perspective, and thanks for sharing your story.
Anytime.
Yeah,
At
and
ease,
thanks
General.
for being part of the Pigeon Army.
Of course.
See you later, dude. Thanks for chatting. Wow. Well, there we have it.
Yeah. I always like when people have experienced this.
Yes. I think it really adds.
Well, I don't like that
Yeah,
Pigeon
well,
General
say.
Has had this experience.
had to have that experience.
To be very
but
clear.
it helps having his perspective to understand how to navigate this situation.
And I feel like they always bring a aspect of it that we wouldn't consider because we haven't been through that scenario before. So always appreciate it when you guys
and also
tell us.
shout out Pigeon General for doing therapy before making a life-changing decision. Let's go.
A model OK story time community
Citizen,
member.
yeah.
Citizen.
Yeah.
Yes, citizen of OK Storytimesville.
Shout out you. Olivia Gray says, I really enjoyed him as a caller. Well,
Love
Pigeon
that.
General is the best. So
Freaking awesome.
he's freaking
dude.
awesome. Part of the OK fam. So give some pigeons in the chat for Pigeon General.
Pigeons in
He
the
is the
chat.
very model of a modern major general.
He is.
That is
He
true.
is. Am I the a-hole for refusing to eat one of my friend's meat, but not another? As a pescatarian, what do you think about this story?
I wouldn't eat anyone's meat, just to be fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The fruit is too low.
No. No.
Refrain.
I'm refraining.
Hold it back.
I'm refraining. All right. My husband, 35 male.
Who's it from? You didn't say who's from.
This is from anonymous 103-857-6292. Really
Or
wanted me to read that?
440-508-6567.
Are you really giving our phone number right now?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that sounded like a number.
Oh, no. My husband, 35 male, Jake, and I, 30 female, have a group of friends from his college. Beth, 35 female, George, 35 male, and Lou, 35 female. Is Lou
Yeah. Like Mary Lou.
Beth is jealous of Lou because Lou dated someone who rejected her.
Yeah,
I've
how's
never
that
been
feel?
rejected, so I don't know how that feels.
Beth is jealous of Lou because Lou was rejected. Oh, Lou got rejected
So
by
in a
someone
way,
they both dated.
I am going on a date by someone you were rejected by, but I was also rejected by them too.
Why you got to bring that up, Riley?
You're right. I just was like, I'm trying to relate here.
Why are you trying to flex?
In a way, I actually.
In a way, yeah. It
When
kind of
I'm
reminds
Beth.
me of when you got rejected, but then I didn't get rejected.
Yeah.
I initially got rejected, but then I pulled through.
Anyway.
Lou, Jake, and I live far from Beth and George, 2 hours from a tourist city on what we call our homestead. We have a garden, chickens, a dairy cow, and we don't eat store-bought processed foods except on special occasions. We're
That's the dream.
fully off the grid.
Yeah.
My family never eats meat or dairy unless we know where it came from. Since I am a stay-at-home mom, I make things from scratch, including butter, buttermilk, farmer's cheese, cream cheese, etc.
Oh my
I really want
gosh.
to try some homemade butter. That's delicious.
Delicious. Lou lives a similar lifestyle. We will trade eggs or canned goods from our garden for goat cheese or things she grows. Her neighbor raises beef cattle, so we have met the cows before. We split a cow with Lou's family this past year.
Oh my God. This is like,
Back home.
Yeah.
this is so crazy.
What? What's crazy about it?
No, they're just like, they're living off the grid. They're like,
They're farmers.
in
They're
a fun way.
full-on
No, in a fun
farmers.
way. Crazy. And
Also,
I'm like,
when
yeah.
they say split a cow, does that mean they
Get half
they
the
like
cow.
Yeah, half the cow's meat.
Yeah.
Oh, so they just like
Yeah.
cut that thing in half.
Like they're like, oh, you get half of this, half of that. They just split it.
Yeah.
Cows are expensive.
Yeah.
Beth and George were visiting the city not too far, so decided to have a dinner at my house. I made pasta with garlic bread, butter, chicken parmigiana. Our eating morals aren't something I talk about, so Beth and George weren't aware. Lou hadn't been by in a while, so when she got to our house, she brought a bag of her frozen meatballs that we had traded for. My kids were all raving about them as they were really so good, and Beth gets a long look asking, "What's so special about them?"
That's weird.
I told her Lou must have some secret sauce because I can never compete with them. Dinner goes well outside of that. So I'm a little confused.
Lou made the meatballs.
Oh.
Yeah. Lou made the meatballs, and Beth is all jealous because she got rejected.
Beth is because Lou dated someone
Yes.
who rejected
Beth
Beth.
was the rejected, and Lou was the taker. Lou is the meatball boyfriend stealer.
Lou is the meatball maker, boyfriend stealer. Beth and George planned to stop for dinner on their way home. Lou and I were making dinner when they arrived. Beth was holding a tray of meatballs that looked to be homemade. She was smiling and walked in asking everyone to try them. I don't force my kids to follow the know your cow thing, but my daughter asked her what cow the meatballs were from. Beth laughed and said it was just grocery store meat and to try it. She would like it. My daughter said,
I like it.
"No, thanks." Beth went around trying to get people to eat them, but my family and Lou's family all said, "No, thank you." George was eating them, trying to save the situation, but she came into the kitchen looking like she was going to cry and started yelling at Lou and I, saying how we really turned our families against her and are refusing to try her food out of spite.
What?
Okay. Uh-oh. So she's still mad about the boyfriend stealing, it seems.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's,
Yeah, she's still hung
just
up on
jealous
that.
of everything.
Yeah, she's like,
Lou has better meatballs.
she was trying to one up Lou's meatballs with
And
meatballs
couldn't.
of her own and
Yeah.
could not.
'Cause
They wouldn't
she
even try
didn't
them.
know where the cow was.
You didn't know the cow?
Didn't know the cow. Got to know the cow's name.
Yeah.
I explained we don't eat meat or dairy unless we know the animal. She laughed and told me to stop lying. She brought up the meal at my house, had cheese, butter, chicken, and milk, and there's no way I knew the cow that Lou's meatballs had come from. I explained that we did know that cow, our dairy cow and chicken. I said we call ourselves vegan when we are out. She just said, "Right, how convenient that when it's Lou, it's fine, but it not me."
Yeah, we've already
She grabbed
explained.
George and they left. Well, Lou knew the cow.
Yeah, Lou knew the cow.
Lou was friends with that cow.
Yeah,
And then
Beth
murdered
seems
it
like
in cold
she's
blood.
a little bit jealous. It is a weird thing to hear, but like they live on a homestead, so
Yeah, it is like, I feel like if I heard that,
I was like, I'm sorry, I don't eat meat, so it actually doesn't
I'm sorry, I
apply.
only eat meat if I know the cow.
I feel like the phrasing of that, I'd be like, okay, but also,
I don't know.
Like, I understand the
I might
reasoning.
think it was just like an excuse
yeah,
to just be mean to me.
No, I would think that if this were, like if this, like you went to someone's house
Yeah.
here, but they're on a homestead living off the grid.
With the context, it sounds it makes sense.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's true.
Yeah.
But without the context, it just sounds
pretentious.
It would be either pretentious or like just made up. Like, oh, like, sorry, I can't go out. Like, I have my friend's MMA game or something.
Yeah.
But I have a okay story time, and the okay story time is etiquette when saying you can't attend an event or date. I have a thought.
Or Meatball Monday.
They haven't said anything to us besides the one Facebook post Beth made about fake vegans who are only vegan when it suits them for attention, which
so
makes me
salty.
think we should have just tried her meatballs.
Nah, no.
Edit, we use know your cow with our children, but we mean vet your source/rancher. This has confused a lot of people. We aren't hanging around with cows and using their full name. Edit 2. We were having prime rib and twice baked potatoes for dinner with a smoked salmon dip as an appetizer. Eating meatballs right before prime rib is a bit weird in my opinion. Beth copies things Lou does literally every time we were all together. She didn't bring meatballs because she thought they go well with her prime rib. It was because of her internal competition with Lou. And there are some relevant comments and
I do think it's weird that
an update.
Beth brought meatballs right after Lou brought meatballs.
Well, yeah, because Beth is insecure.
Yeah.
Beth is insecure with like Lou stealing the.
Well, didn't that
the
happen like in
boyfriend.
college?
Yeah, it happened ages ago. And we don't even know if it was stealing. I'm probably hyperbolizing here.
Yeah.
It's like it's just that they dated the same
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, get over it.
Yeah. At that point, like you're with George. I feel
You're
like
with
it's rude to George.
Yeah, it's
to
rude
be like
it is rude.
It's rude to George to be like not over it.
Yeah. Damn. I feel bad
But
for
also
George.
like, why are they still friends with this person?
I don't know. Maybe like small town college.
I don't know. Just to be like, she copies everything Lou does.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like, I have a friend that is really tight with all of his high school friends, and there's like always drama, and there's like people that are maybe not the most salient of characters, but
you still see them.
They still hang out because they all knew each other from high school.
I guess so.
Well,
let's read these relevant comments.
Did you ask them to bring anything? We did have a full dinner planned in appetizers and did not ask them to bring anything since they were traveling. They also did not go with the meal we had planned at all, which we had told Beth what we were making in advance, so everyone could see straight through her competition.
Yikes.
I am interested by that. Like, it didn't match what we were planning to make. I don't know if an appetizer necessarily needs to.
No, I don't think so.
I do believe.
Actually, you know what? Now that I'm kind of like rereading it, it does sound a little pretentious to be like,
it didn't even match the meal. No, yeah, that does sound. Yeah, I think everything else I'm like not on Beth's side for, but this I'm like it's meatballs.
Also, meatballs do go with about anything, I would say.
Yeah, dude. Honey mustard meatballs.
Ugh.
So good. What? You don't
Just
like
your
honey
noise.
mustard?
No. I had a visceral like shiver when you made that
Well,
noise.
can you imagine what Riley's feeling with that right in his ear hole?
Feeling pretty good. I loved that actually.
More on their meat eating philosophy.
Why do we have to know so much about this?
It's so that we aren't supporting people who mistreat animals. A lot of grocery store meat comes from cows who are abused and not fed right. If we know the cow, we know how they live and that they are treated well. Small ranchers actually love their cows / treat them with respect, and that's the difference. We don't compromise on know your cow. The processed foods we eat occasionally do not include meat and dairy. We are flexible on processed foods, not on animal products. We'll eat a bad bag of potato chips occasionally, but we never eat animal products from places we don't know. Would it not have been super pretentious to just mention how we eat when no one asked and it wasn't relevant since everything we were eating was good for us until she brought something we didn't ask for?
I think it would, like, if they had brought it up unprompted and they're like, we only eat cows we knew. That would have been really pretentious. Because that's, like, that's how people react to like when vegans talk about being vegan. However, I think in terms of dinner stuff, just being like, hey, like if you do bring something, like no meat products, please.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to potlucks where it's like vegan only.
Yeah, like if I'm hosting something like dinner things, I'm like, hey,
just
I don't
say
eat
vegan
meat.
only. Except you had someone bring meatballs just before.
Yeah.
Not the vibe.
No, but I'm saying like if you know that someone's coming over dinner and might bring food, just being like, hey, like this is the lowdown. We only eat meat, locally sourced meat.
Maybe to give Beth the benefit of the doubt, maybe she's like, I don't really know what to bring, but someone brought meatballs
and
last
they
time.
Meatballs.
So and they like meatballs, so maybe I can bring meatballs this time too. Like in the same way.
Yeah.
Oh, someone got donuts last time at the party. I'll bring donuts too because they like donuts.
That's true. Yeah. Beth is just trying to
help. Just try to feed people.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm a Beth supporter now.
I know. I'm kind of turning over to Beth's side.
No, I think they're both being a little bit meanie
bikini. Oh, you force your kids to eat like this? My kids aren't forced to eat the same way we eat. When they are at friends' parties or at a restaurant, they eat what they want. We are definitely going to teach them more as they are older, but they are only 5, 4, and 2. So we aren't going into depth of farmed meat, animal abuse, and climate change yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Someone else asks, somehow you never told Beth this? We see Beth maybe once every 2 or 3 years, and we haven't eaten out with her. We have 3 kids. It'd feel a bit pretentious to just start telling her, oh, this is made from grass-fed cows from around the corner and are the only meatballs we'll eat since it's made with our free-range eggs. I didn't see why it was relevant because we didn't expect to have her bring food and weren't eating the meatballs that day. Maybe she was just trying to be nice, which is kind of what we were saying.
Yeah. I think that like she could be jealous, like about you're turning everyone against me.
Yeah.
That might be insecurity, but the meatballs might just be really nice.
She said, the OP says, she was not trying to be nice.
Okay.
She was trying to compete with Lou 100%. She paraded the platter of meatballs around my house, begging everyone to eat one after we told her not to bring anything.
Not gonna lie, I do that with cookies.
Meatballs because she was jealous. Lou's meatballs got praises from my kids. She's a very jealous person and has done things like this in the past. Lou gets a new haircut. Oh, wow. Beth just goes and gets the exact same haircut. Okay, but if they're only seeing each other once every 3 years, how do you know?
Maybe this is in college, but then maybe Beth's changed.
Yeah. If I had known she would bring something, I would have explained our diet, but people just get so pressed at it. I'm not going to divulge it if it isn't relevant. Why do you invite her to things then?
Yeah.
They live a few states away. They weren't coming to see us, but to vacation in the city a couple hours away. They stopped on the way there and back. George is Beth's husband and was super close friends with Jake, which is why we all still get together. Jake is OP's husband.
Oh, there's so many names in this one.
I know. There's a lot I couldn't fit into the post because of character limits, but Beth's jealousy of Lou started when Beth asked out a guy and he rejected her. Then Lou dated that guy for a few years.
Oh, they didn't even date?
They didn't date.
Oh, that's even worse
After that, she was always copying Lou, her hair, her clothes, her demeanor, etc. It toned down when she got with George, but apparently there are still remnants of jealousy. She is jealous of Lou's relationship with my kids, as Lou is their godmother. George is one of Jake's closest friends, though, and I'd never ask him to cut them off due to this. I don't hate Beth. I just think it's ridiculous to be so insecure towards Lou over something that has happened 15 years ago.
15 years ago is crazy.
I've angered the anti-vegans as well as the vegans, it seems. We aren't trying to fit in with anyone else's ideology or their perfect way of life. We're just doing what works for us and makes us happy. I don't hate Beth at all. I don't understand her jealousy for Lou, but we do actually enjoy our time together usually. And then there's this exchange. So, commenter, I've been a vegetarian for 20 years. I tell as little people as possible because the second they find out, they accuse you of shoving your lifestyle down their throat. Opie says this. People are messaging me so mad at the way we eat when it literally doesn't affect them. And I only mention it because it's obviously relevant to the post. Me eating this way doesn't mean the way other people eat is wrong or worse. We're all just doing what works for us with the resources we have. Edited to add, people were curious about the salmon. It was wild salmon from Alaska that my husband caught, as I have mentioned in other comments.
They will not be caught slacking.
Ooh, are these people that have their own cows and their own wild caught salmon? Are they in Alaska?
They
Maybe.
I want to say Montana.
Yeah, this
Might be
sounds
close
like
to it. But no, I think that's admirable to like. I think it's like totally fine for them to have that sort of lifestyle because that is good. I mean,
yeah, no, it's not
environmentally very friendly.
To know your cow is actually,
good
as much as we were making fun of it, it is a good thing to do.
Yeah, no, and I think OP knows that that's like a silly phrase, but I feel like it's also
kind of a sick phrase. I love that phrase.
I know my cow,
but also I think
do you
it's
know
like
your cow?
They're using this phrase a lot with a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. So like to be like you have to locally source your cows to a 5-year-old, they're not gonna know what you're saying.
Yeah,
so if you're like your cow,
where's
the
that
5-year-old's
cow?
like I know that cow. That's Sally.
Yeah.
So
you have to have an emotional connection with the cow.
Yeah.
You have to cry when eating the meat.
Honestly, I don't think their lifestyle is pretentious at all. I think it was the only thing I was like mildly pretentious was to be like meatballs don't belong with that. But that was it.
That was mildly pretentious.
Because everything else is like good.
Yeah. And I could see Beth being like, oh, that's just like a bullshit excuse. I could totally see that.
I can see that, but I'm also like, how does Beth not like just the rest of their lifestyle? Like they live on a homestead.
Yeah, I feel like it would come. Yeah, you would kind of see it.
You'd be like, that
makes sense. That checks out.
Yeah.
I have a okay story time about cows.
Do you know them?
Yeah.
I did know them.
You know the cows?
Mm-hmm. They were my cows.
Well, we'll get into that
after
this
update.
update. So this is 4 days later. My post got a lot more attention than I thought it would, but I wasn't allowed to update the post. I was deemed not the asshole, but many people told me I was the asshole just for eating the way we eat.
It's weird.
It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation in my mind. A bunch of people called me pretentious for eating this way, and a bunch of people told me I should tell everyone in our lives how we eat and avoid this ever happening again. But also berated me and called me idiots for eating this way. We don't tell people because it doesn't affect them. We aren't doing this for clout like we have been accused of. People are accusing us of treating it like some big secret. Reddit literally proved people riot and treat you worse because of your diet, be it vegan, vegetarian, whatever. We aren't going to tell people unless we have to still. People also said we sound like rich, elitist white people living in mansions.
So these people are really like
we are not rich. Our area is called trashy.
Oh.
We are not white. Our house is literally less than 1,500 square feet, and there are 5 of us. But okay, we vax our kids and pasteurize our milk. Not everything is the stereotype you think it is. But how do you have a cow on 1,500 square feet and chickens?
They probably know their cow.
Or I guess their house is 1,500 square feet.
Yeah, it might be.
But they have like a land.
Yeah.
On to the actual update.
Yes.
I did not apologize to Beth, mostly because we found out she was screwing Lou's husband for years.
What? Lou's husband? Whoa. Sorry, I was like on the cow stuff, and then we turned around and
Where
Beth
does
is
that come from?
What a twist.
That came out of nowhere.
Nowhere. We were talking about cows and pasteurizing milk, and now we're talking about cheating. Beth cheated?
Talk about burying the lead.
Yeah, we're like,
oh my
Beth was really
goodness.
insulted that we had meatballs.
Wow.
Blah, 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 blah. She cheated on Lou's husband. Blah, 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 blah.
She's like, oh yeah, Beth is going to make better, Lou's going to make better meatballs than me. Well, joke's on you, Lou. I'm taking your husband.
Literally. No, but for months. So this was even before the meatball incident.
Yeah, I know. She's preemptively doing
I love that this started and like the main drama was the meatballs.
Yeah, I know. We thought it was just all about the meatballs.
Yeah.
But
that's what you always think it.
Cheating.
You always think it's about the meatballs, but it's always something underneath. It's never about the meatballs.
So Lou and her husband, Phil, 39 male, lived near Beth and George until about 4 years ago when they moved by us. Apparently, when Beth was in town, she made some vague comments and threats to Phil about exposing that they were having an affair for around 4 years that ended when he moved.
Wow. That is such like a grudge that she held on Lou.
Wow. So Beth was like, if you don't tell Lou, I will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. She's just trying to ruin
Lou's life. Lou literally, oh my God.
Phil told Lou proactively in an attempt to save their marriage.
Yeah.
What do you think? Will
In the past?
Will it
or recently?
I feel like if we're going by the golden rules, I don't think you can get out of this one because that's 4 years of continuous cheating. It's not like,
a lot to work through.
I think any amount of cheating, but
if it's like it's not like a one-off time.
No, this is 4 years of consistent cheating.
Yeah,
in a 15-year marriage, out.
You're kind of done. I think if you have any kind of consistent cheating in
you can't talk your way out of it.
I feel like I think we've seen where people will like cheat once or something,
and
it's like,
people
I made
will
a big
excuse
mistake,
it.
and the marriage will continue past it. But I feel like continuous cheating for 4 years is like a
much harder to excuse.
Much harder,
but
and it's
on
a
the
whole
part of
different
the
degree
person who
of
was
cheating,
cheated on.
because it's like a continuous lie and continuation of a behavior.
Yeah. No, we were reading a story about this guy whose wife cheated on him like over and over and over again, and he would not divorce her. He was like, she kept saying that she'd change, and she didn't.
And she just changed the guy she was cheating on me with.
No, it was bad.
Oh man, God,
this is horrible.
Yeah, this
so
sucks. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, no, literally, I was like, Beth, she seems jealous, but she's not horrible, and now she's horrible.
Kind of sucks.
That sucks.
Lou is currently staying with us while she decides how to move forward. She is most likely going to file for divorce.
Good.
Lou just kind of like gets more and more points in my book as she goes on.
She makes fire meatballs.
My question is, what's happening with George? Does George know?
Well, I think we're about to find out.
George has also reached out to Jake talking about the whole affair.
Oh, yikes.
He knew Beth struggled with jealousy over Lou, but didn't know how extreme it was until after the meatball incidents.
Oh my God.
And their drive home, where she continuously ranted about how much better she was than Lou in every aspect and how no one could see it.
Ew.
The best way to show someone that you're better than them
is to cheat.
By saying it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's proof.
Yeah, it's proof enough.
Yeah,
right?
they always say, as a writer, they say, tell, don't show.
They say, tell, don't show.
That's what they say.
Beth did not come clean to him about the affair. Lou told him. I haven't heard anything about what Beth and George are doing. I showed Lou this post, and she laughed a bit at some of the responses to people getting so upset about what we eat. So yeah, many people said Beth probably had good intentions with the meatballs, but I guess I just didn't describe the level of jealousy.
Yeah, we needed more examples.
Yeah.
This is pretty
although we weren't expecting she'd take it so far. Not that she's solely to blame. Phil is equally at fault. Phil did say she was flirting with him and coming on to him for months before he caved.
Ew.
Not that it matters.
Ew. Caved? Come on. Like that's when you stop seeing a person.
Yeah, I mean, like if someone is actively trying to like insert themselves into your marriage,
you stop. You don't see them.
Stop it. You stop it.
You say, hey, it's weird.
Yeah, please stop.
Please leave.
Trying to know my cow.
Yeah, I hope that maybe Lou will get together with George and take Beth's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Take the scraps.
No, that's not what I meant. I was gonna say take Beth's love interest for a second time.
Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like
Lou wouldn't do that.
Well, I guess maybe if Jake is friends with George, maybe he's a cool guy.
Yeah, who knows? But Beth certainly is not.
Wow, I was not expecting this story to go.
Yeah, what a turn! What a topsy-turvy turn! It started off confusing,
but okay, story time. Now on to, we were talking a little bit about etiquette. So question for both of you and question for all of you watching right now.
All of you watching right there.
If someone says, hey, want to get together on such and such day? And they say, no, I got a blah, blah, blah to do. If you actually want to see them, the appropriate thing to do is say, offer another day.
Yes.
But is it the also appropriate thing to do? Does it also contain etiquette to just say, oh, I'm busy that day and not give a response? And that serves as a no in like a respectful way.
I don't think it's necessarily a respectful way. I don't know about that. I can say I've done that though.
What?
That is how I say no.
What will you do?
Well, no, I'll just be like, oh, sorry. Like if people keep asking me, I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And I like really, but this is not like for people that I know and see a lot. It's like people who like one off were like, oh, hey, do you want to hang out this day?
And you're like, no.
No. But I don't want to say no because I'm not good at saying no.
Yeah.
So I tell them no in my own way.
Yeah. I feel like it's the way most people do it.
Yeah.
Busy that day.
Yeah.
And don't give a
It's like a fear of,
saying no.
Or
Yeah.
they're like, I don't see a life with you. We should just be friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I think if you
got a direct one, man.
That's
That'd be a good
crazy.
one.
But also I feel like in that other way,
But you were also direct in an ask.
yes.
Yeah.
That's true. I think if you directly ask, like,
If
hey,
you directly, yeah.
I've had people directly ask and be like, hey, like, are you interested? And then I'm like, yeah, no, sorry. But
But if you have to say, hey, are you interested?
yeah, that's,
You're kind of
yeah.
already like, you already know.
Yeah. But also I think I think also you need to realize that when people do say like you're like, hey, are you free to hang out? And that person's like, no, don't keep asking.
Yeah.
Because I've had people keep asking and I'm like, no.
I don't. Yeah. So here, question for you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
If you've invited people to a potluck a couple times and they like keep saying, oh, I'm busy this day or I'm not busy this day, should you keep inviting them to group events?
Have they gone to any?
They potentially have not gone to any.
If they haven't gone to any, maybe no.
No.
What if they've been
Actually,
the one?
no, because I've invited my friends and they haven't been able to come, but
They're
that's
not
because
your real
potlucks
friends
are
then?
on Thursdays and Thursdays are work
Then,
days.
You know what?
And my friend works at a school, so I think that's
I don't know. I think you got to drop them.
I don't know.
what
Actually, I
if-
take it back. I don't think that's
Question: what if someone has been to the potluck and then friend zones you? Should you invite them to the potluck again?
No, you're not.
No.
Are you going to
No.
invite
I
them?
wasn't going to. I was just saying, am I the a-hole for not
No.
inviting them anymore?
no.
Okay, thank goodness.
You're not the a-hole for not inviting? Why wouldn't you? I feel like it's fine to
Well,
invite them.
do you
You
mean
want
like
to
you
invite
actually
them?
want to be
I don't wanna invite them.
friends?
Oh, then
Oh,
you don't
then
have to invite them.
No, but they're also friends with someone else. Though.
Your life is too complicated, Riley.
Riley's asked out too many people.
Yeah, slow down.
I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying to slow down. Oh, I have one. Okay,
I
story
don't
time.
ask anyone.
Hit us with the cow.
Yeah, so I used to have 2 cows, Bonnie and Clyde, and one year, I had a bunch of friends from my high school come over to my house for my birthday, and I showed them the cows. I was like, "Look, it's Bonnie and Clyde." And then the next year they came, and there was only 1 cow, and the girls were like, "Oh, what happened to the other cow?" Like, "Oh, you can see them. Come to my house." And then they came to my house and said, "Look," and they were burgers, and I said, "Look, they're
That's messed
sliders rather than sliders." And
That's
then
messed up.
Some of them laughed.
That's messed up.
Some didn't laugh.
That's messed up.
That's so
That's messed up.
Yeah, it was a
I'm not-
long joke. That was probably the longest joke I've done. I have another joke that I've been working on for another 3 months.
I don't know how I would. I don't know. I don't know how I would take that.
I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, but like I'm from like
But you're talking to a mediator and a pescatarian right now.
Yeah.
Opposite sides of the.
No, but like to be like, oh, Bonnie and Clyde, I've seen them. You know, like for example, if you took my chickens and I come home and I'm like, hey, where are my chickens? And you're like, we're eating them.
Well, yeah, it's because they're your
Traumatizing.
chickens.
yeah, were there his chickens and you?
Yeah. What are the
Okay, sorry. If they were your chickens, I'd still be traumatized.
Yeah. What if it was like.
But like I've met these chickens before.
What
I've
if it
held
was
them in
like
my
no,
hands.
mid eating the chicken burger? It's like, oh, how are the chickens? It's like, well, how do they taste?
Yeah, that's kind of what it was.
You can take knowing your your cow too far.
I don't know. I think that's good.
I think it is good.
That's
Yeah,
good.
You
No,
know
I
you're
think I think you should know where your if you do
Yeah.
eat meat, you should know where your meat comes
And
from.
you're like,
I
that's
think
a Clyder.
yeah, locally sourced meat is very good.
but not like, oh, this cow lived in my yard for 3 years and then we ate it.
No, I think that's fine.
Is that
I
too
just
far
think
of knowing my cow?
no, I think it's fine. I think it's just to be like the setup of your friends being like, "Where's the other cow?" And you're like, "Come follow me." That
Well, they should know. Like
you should
Their
be like
cow.
that. Yeah, it was.
that's what they do. That's what we do in
Amica.
this house.
I think it's fine, Riley.
Thank you, Sam.
But you know what I want to run into? This next story.
This next story.
My mom wants to save her marriage, but my father has a mistress. Ooh, little obstacle course here. Apologies in advance for how long this is, but the backstory on this definitely matters, and it just gets worse and worse. I, 27 female, want to ban my father's 57 male mistress, who we'll call Patty, also 57 female, from a family trip I'm planning with my sister, 31 female, and our mom, 58 female. By the way, this comes from user Acceptable Health 901 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, mind you, they are still married, not legally separated, but living apart. And my mom does not want to divorce. She wants to work on their marriage of 35 plus years, but he has refused at every turn to attempt to reconnect. Here's the background. My father has been quote unquote best friends with his now mistress since childhood. Is that a true love scenario?
Probably like a first love theory kind of thing.
Ooh. She is also my godmother. She divorced her ex-husband 15 plus years ago, and they have 2 boys and a girl. When they divorced, my father was constantly driving 4 hours away to her home to help her with everything from window replacements to painting her walls because she doesn't have anyone else to help her, while her boys were in high school and junior high and perfectly capable to help when she needed it.
Is that what we're calling it these days?
Yeah, no, yo dad's been cheating on your mom since that.
Painting the walls.
Ugh.
But I thought she just painted them like 3 months ago.
Meanwhile, he was always gone when me or my mom needed help with something. My mom was basically a single mother my entire high school career because he was traveling for work during the week and spent most weekends at Patty's. My mom confronted him a few times about how it looked with him spending so much of his time with Patty, but he blew her off, saying Patty was too crazy and mentally unstable for him to ever be with her in any capacity except friendship.
Yeah, that was a lie.
Ooh. Fast forward to when I was in junior year of college and my grandfather, on my father's side, had a stroke and needed someone to be living with him, especially at night. My father and I split the week at my grandfather's house, so someone was always there with him, which I didn't mind at all because my grandfather was a wonderful person. He was 88 when this happened and not in the best of health. When this started, my father had a talk with my mom that he wasn't feeling connected to her and that he was thinking of separating. My mom said that he had a lot going on with his dad at the moment, so he should focus on taking care of him. And after he passes, they can really start to work on their relationship because he'd be around to actually work on it. He agreed that that would be best and never brought it up again. At this point, I was hearing from Patty that she and my father were not friends anymore because he did something to make her upset and she wasn't going to forgive him. I had a gut feeling something was up, so I talked to my sister, who was very close with our father, and she said it was probably nothing, that he would have said something to her if there was something more going on between Patty and him. So I dropped it. A couple years went by and I got married, moved in with my husband, and had a baby girl a few weeks before COVID hit. And that's when everything changed.
Uh-oh.
Wow. That's a lot of shakeup right there.
A lot of movement. Golly.
New baby girl, COVID hits, and you find out that your dad has an affair. My father was now living with my grandfather full time as I was states away with my family. About halfway through 2020, Patty calls my father and they started talking again. She has long COVID and her daughter just can't help her the way she needs to be helped. Her daughter was 18 at the time and perfectly capable of helping her own mother. So my father's bright idea was to take Patty into my grandfather's home and take care of them both.
Yeah, take care of them both. I don't think you're giving them both the same treatment.
I would hope not. Meanwhile, my mom is alone in the house I grew up in that my father still owns and has all of his stuff in, taking care of the house and family dog while also working full-time and overtime in healthcare. One of the big reasons my mom didn't move into my grandfather's house with my father was that she couldn't work from home and would most likely bring home COVID or the flu, and added stress of a dog that could knock my grandfather over was too much. I asked multiple times where Patty was sleeping, and he kept saying she would sleep during the day and he would sleep at night. That way, they were never sleeping together in the same bed. I called BS so many times, but was told I was being dramatic and that I needed to drop it. After 2 months of Patty living with my father, my mom wanted to retire and spend more time with my father and have time to travel and see me and her new granddaughter. She asked him if it was financially possible for her to retire, and he said that it wouldn't be an issue since finances were good. 2 weeks after my mom officially retired, he had his lawyer send a letter of intent to divorce through the mail. My mom called him crying, asking why he would do this. His response was, I just don't want to be married anymore.
Oh, wow.
You have a long-term affair with Patty while your wife is expecting you to reconcile your relationship.
Yeah.
And then you send her a divorce letter through the mail right after telling her it's time to retire and give up your life.
There was no setup for success here. This is so icky.
He went out of his way, it feels like, to do this in the worst possible way. Trash man. So he then asked her not to tell me or my sister until he's had a chance to speak with us. She spent 3 months quietly being a mess, yet masqueraded like everything was fine around me, my sister, and our extended family for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
You get till the end of the week before she can spill the beans. That is crazy.
The end of the day, for God's sake. She should be able to say it whenever she feels like it.
Yes.
Oh my God. She finally told me when I pushed for her to tell me what was wrong, and I was livid. I couldn't believe he would stoop so low and lie straight to my face. Of course, I called my sister and told her what happened. She was horrified as well, but decided to give him a chance to come clean and hear his side of the story. She got him to tell her what happened and why he decided to end the marriage. It then took him another month to face me, and I knew he was being a coward. When he did finally talk to me and tell me what happened, I then responded with, have you tried to reconnect with mom? What about couples therapy? When's the last time you and her went on a date? Is this happening because of Patty? And he was just refusing to talk about it, left and right coming up with excuses like therapy wouldn't have worked and I would never be with Patty. She's too crazy. Meanwhile, I had been talking to one of her sons about this and he confirmed that they were in a relationship. I felt so disrespected, not just because he lied to me or that he blindsided my mom, but also on behalf of my grandfather who was every night sleeping right across the hall from them. At this point, my grandfather was deep into his dementia and didn't really know what was going on around him, but I know for a fact he thought cheaters were the scum of the earth, which just adds insult to injury. My grandfather passed away peacefully a year later, and at the funeral, Patty avoided me like the plague. Granted, I was pregnant, hormonal, and grieving, so everyone knew I was a one-side comment away from throwing down. Yeah, well, shouts to you for not throwing down.
Yeah. You had every right to.
Yeah. After the funeral, my sister and I went back to the house to see just how comfortable Patty had made herself in my grandfather's home. The bed her and my father slept in now had twinkly lights on the backboard. Oh, God. The room had all her furniture in it, and on her bedside table, there was an 8x11 framed picture of my father from his high school senior year. I could feel the white-hot rage radiating through my body. I called it out and stood my ground for an answer from him. I said, does she sleep facing you or facing your senior portrait at night? Seems to me that you're either in a relationship or she clearly has an obsession with you. And he raised his voice, saying, drop it now. I always love the typical dad move of just raising the voice and saying to drop it. My sister's jaw dropped and she backed me up saying, she's right. That's weird. And then he walked out of the room. I was ready to cut off all ties to him if it weren't for my mom saying, wait until we're through our divorce, because she had hope that maybe he'd come to his senses and reconnect. Oh, poor woman. I went low contact and only spoke to him when it concerned buying a house for my mom near me and selling the family home since he wasn't even living there and had no plans on moving back. About a year later, my therapist told me I needed to talk with my father and get everything off my chest if I wanted to truly get past everything. So I did. We talked for 3 hours and I told him every damaging thing he's done to me personally and then to the family, all the lying and gaslighting and making me feel like the crazy one. He apologized to me and agreed to do family therapy with me, but that has yet to be followed through on, which isn't a surprise to me. Now, this brings us to the present day. It's been 7 months since that heart-to-heart, and my father is still not admitting that him and Patty are together, yet they still live together in my grandfather's house. Go no contact. If it makes you uncomfortable and he's still lying to you, call him out that he won't stop lying and go no contact. And to be clear, maybe not permanently, but definitely until he comes clean with the truth. My mom now lives a few houses down from me and her 2 grandchildren and is a big part of their lives, whereas my father has only seen them 2 times a year. Nothing legal has happened since giving my mom the letter of intent to divorce, which tells me he's either too broke to divorce or is not ready to let go of the 35-plus year marriage, which to me it sounds like he already did because he's been sleeping with Patty for years. Let's be honest. My husband is now going to be away for training for roughly the next year for his new job and won't have many opportunities to see me or our kids. So I'm planning a trip to Disney World since it's kind of close to my husband's training center and we can see him on the weekend and then at his graduation later in the week. It also happens to be a good time for my sister to travel as well. And my daughter has been asking to see her papa for a while now. So my sister and I think a family trip wouldn't be a bad idea since our mom is civil with our father while he acts as if nothing has happened between them. What a hard secret to keep. I can't imagine. I'd have to tell her immediately. Just like I want to tell all of you right now that every weekday at 3 p.m. PST, we go live on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. So you can join us on any one of those platforms by just tapping our profile and you're in the live. We might even be live right now. But before you go check on that, we are going to finish this story.
That just needs to come clean. He's being a big coward, not manning up. I mean, come on. The least you can do is to come clean to everyone and move on with your life.
Just come out with the truth. Everybody knows it. She's got your high school picture on the bedside table. If you already want the divorce, just be honest. Let's finish off the story. Now, here's where I might be the a-hole. I have no problem with my father joining us on the trip. However, I do not want Patty anywhere near me or my children. I want to invite my father with the ground rule of no dirty mistresses allowed. I personally feel she's an incredibly toxic person, and I don't want my kids knowing or asking who that lady is with Papa because it'll open up a whole can of worms. I do realize my father is also toxic, but I can't cut him off completely because my daughter knows him enough that she wants to see him, but is too young to understand why we don't see him as often as Grammy, my mom. So would I be the a-hole for telling my father he can't bring Patty to the family trip? No.
It's for family, not affair partners.
Yeah, exactly. Which he'll probably just deny that she is that. He'll go, no, we're just friends and I can never date her. She's too crazy. And regardless, even if you did come out with the truth, then she definitely shouldn't be on the trip.
My boyfriend lied about texting his ex, so I told him to never contact me again.
You want to text your ex? Well, don't text this ex. It's me now. I'm your ex. Don't text me.
Yesterday, I had an amazing day with my boyfriend. It was the first real day of our week vacation that I planned and organized for his B-Day. As we were on our way to dinner, he suddenly wanted to go through my phone. Out of nowhere, he starts going through messages for months before I even met him, questioning who everyone is. Mind you, I've never cheated on him or talked to anyone behind his back. In fact, when my ex reached out a few times, I openly told him about it as soon as it happened and asked him how he'd like me to proceed. It seems like he's projecting. I'm gonna tell you that much. By the way, this comes from Babby Mish on the OK Storytime subreddit. So, anyways, after going through all of that, he checks my recently deleted texts. He is not tech savvy, so I asked him how he knew that existed. At which point, he bangs, stumbling over his words. I asked him if he's been deleting messages and then deleting them from recently deleted. He said no.
I doubt that.
A little background, my boyfriend has an ex he broke up with right before meeting me, and when he blocked her some months into being with me, she began emailing him nonstop horrible things. There were many times a day, multiple times a week. About 5.5 weeks ago, his ex abruptly stopped emailing. I found this extremely weird, and I began questioning him if he'd been talking to her. He started acting weird with his phone, being secretive, and my anxiety peaked. I must have asked him over a dozen times if he was being honest with me about everything and if there's anything I needed to know. Hell, I even voiced that I need to make my sessions in therapy more often because I have no idea why my anxiety is so high. All the while, he played the supportive boyfriend doing nothing wrong. Well, after he went through my phone, I asked him if I emailed her, would the story line up? He assured me it would. Then, while at dinner, he stepped away to the bathroom. When he came back, I made a bitter comment. What did you go in there? To warn her to get your story straight? He assured me no. He hasn't spoken to her in months. LOL. Later that night, we make up and we're lying in bed and I ask him, so you swear you haven't talked to her? I swear. On your family? Silence. He couldn't do it. Couldn't do it on his grandma. This is when I knew. I told him he needed to tell me everything. At which point he was silent for about 15 minutes. You can imagine my anxiety. Finally, he admitted that he did talk to her just once to give her closure. I'm freaking out. How could you lie to me? I don't believe it was just that once. When was the last time? Etc. All the while he's saying just the once, and it was right after the email stopped. He swears. Then I look at my phone. What do I have? An Instagram request message from his ex saying that he told her I was going to email, but she hasn't received anything. Oh man, I lost it.
His tomfoolery is in the light.
I told him to tell me everything because obviously he was still lying. He wouldn't. So I packed my bags and got a sketchy hotel and slept there with my bags against the door. Talked to his ex this morning. She was trying to cover his back and hers. Turns out they've been talking. What about? Who knows? For weeks. Pretty sus. The most recent time, aside from when he was in the bathroom, was a week before our trip when she wished him a happy birthday and they chatted about this trip. Allegedly, she said she could disappear, but did he take her up on that? Nope. The guy thinks he was the good guy for making amends with her while gaslighting me and lying and making me feel like I'm just overly anxious person, which I'm not, when I'm in an environment that's true. What's crazy is my intuition knew, and I was literally having dreams about him talking to her, all the while he was constantly assuring me. I don't know if there's any way past this. Am I overreacting? And there is an update. You're not overreacting.
Are you sure?
Maybe you're overreacting. I feel like he's clearly lying.
No, you're not overreacting. This guy has been so clearly like, from the very beginning of like, well, why don't you check your recently deleted? And then she's just like, how do you know about that? You don't know anything about technology, idiot. And he's like, I definitely don't know about it because I've been deleting messages with my ex-girlfriend I don't want you to see. It's definitely not because of that. And also, no, you can't see my phone. And, shut up, cheater. You cheated.
He's like, actually, I have been learning a little bit more about phones, and sometimes they just delete texts. It's actually not me.
Steve Jobs is ghost.
He just gets into your phone and he deletes the text.
And he's a cheeky little guy. He deletes your texts.
Yeah, you don't trust him. He's gaslighting you. He's lying about things.
He's conspiring with the ex.
He conspired with the ex. Drop him. You're done.
Yeah.
Done. Bye-bye.
No trust. A liar.
And there is an update. So my original post got deleted. I was assuming because his ex reported it, but who knows? I can post it on the bottom of this after I get the crap show that's come forth off my chest. So, as most of you who kept up know, I had to stay a day and one night in the cabin with him. He wouldn't leave me alone. Kept apologizing and asking if I can forgive him. He didn't even let me sleep in the bed after I expressed he can take the floor or the couch, so I took the couch. We left the next morning. It was a 7-hour car ride full of him attempting to apologize, say how he doesn't know how he could ruin this. He should have told me about trying to tie it up with her and we should have handled it together. That he didn't know why he does this to people, he's ashamed and a crappy a-hole. That he hopes I can forgive him. Fast forward, we're home, he won't leave my house, he stayed with me most of the night and kept asking me to forgive him. Says he doesn't know what the F happened to him and feels like he was in trance at the cabin.
Folks, I'm going to say this right now. If you're not careful, you will become that which you hate the most. And it seems like this guy has done that to himself. If you're not careful, you become that very thing which you seek to destroy. And he is like, I don't know how I could have done this. I shouldn't have done this. And it's like, well, clearly you did want to do that because you did it.
It's also funny that like he keeps kind of making up these weird excuses. He's like, I didn't know what was going on. I was in a trance. I was possessed.
There was something in the lacquer.
Something took over my body.
Took over my mind.
I couldn't help it. Claims he has no idea why he'd defend his psycho ex. At this point, I even kind of believe she was a bit psychotic, like true definition wise, not in a demeaning way. Boy, was I manipulated. After a movie, he finally left, and this morning he sent me a screenshot of him signing up for therapy, said this is special, and he really saw us being forever. Doesn't know why he did it, and he'll never speak to her again. Swears he's sorry and will work through everything, considering giving me full access to his Apple ID and online accounts. Then he said he was going to the gym, then his parents because he needed to clear his head.
The rationale of like, I don't know why I did this. I would have never done this. it's like you'll probably say the same thing when it happens next time. You'll go, I didn't want to do this. I don't know how it happened. It'd be better for you to be like, I know exactly why this happened, and I know exactly how to make sure it never happens again. Instead of just like, the air inside the cabin made me text this person.
No, whenever people say, oh, it just happened, I want a full breakdown of why this happened, what in your childhood made you this way.
Yeah, that'd be way better.
Yeah. Well, while he's at his parents', I got a very long email from his ex about an hour ago, uncovering the extent they've been talking. Turns out the whole time, by the way. And the amount of lies and manipulation is truly the worst thing I've ever experienced personally from any man. She told me the entire story from the very beginning. And it was full of things that only he and I should ever know about, with a little twist in the way he painted me. So I know she can't be lying about most of it. I am in actual shock right now. I'm sitting on my couch and I started to cry, and then I just felt numb. But you should never cry, because you can join us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube. Just tap our profile.
Tap it. Sometimes the stories make you want to cry.
And sometimes...
But we can cry together.
And we'll always be here.
We'll always be here to cry together about some ridiculous nonsense somebody went through.
Stupid story.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit left to this tale, this sad tale. But yeah, drop him. He sucks. He's a liar. He's a cheater. And if he doesn't know why he's doing this, then he doesn't deserve to be with you.
Yeah, if he doesn't know why he's doing this with this ex, does he even know why he's with you? Does he know why he wants to be with you? Outside of, it's perfect and it's the one, it's the real deal. Why? Do you not know?
Why? But there's a little bit left. I mean, this guy is possibly the scariest man I've ever let into my life. The extent of his lies and deceit is insane. I genuinely don't even have the capacity to go into depth right now. His ex and I are exchanging emails, and it just gets deeper and deeper. I mean, this is like the type of lying and behavior you only read about in psych books. I mean, he hits every point of a narc and everything that defines a sociopath. Oh, a narcissist. But it just says of a narc. I can't believe I've let someone like this into my life and was still considering believing him. Holy crap. I sent him screenshots of what she sent me and told him to never reach out to me again. He literally tried to pick specific things out and say that she was lying, and he's so sorry she would say that to me. Still gaslighting.
Wow. Hey, he's fully committed.
He's so committed to this bit, claiming he never said the things she claims and that she's still sprinkling in lies. I am running far away, as you should.
And I'm running.
So far away.
Running far away. Honestly, I think you might have ducked out on a little sociopath potentially.
Yeah.
The baby isn't mine. My girlfriend said it was. Should I leave her now?
I mean, yes, because she lied to you.
Rose, 28 female, and I, 29 male, were together for 4 years, from our last year at school until just after university. I loved her very much and genuinely thought I would marry her. However, we were very much not in a place to have a child. You know?
Oh, but then you did.
Then you did.
Yeah.
We had previously discussed the matter and agreed that we were both okay with termination if it came to it. 6 years ago, she became pregnant. She broke down when she told me 4 months in and admitted that she had cheated on me and that the baby wasn't mine.
Dang, that's rough, dude.
Yikes. I assume if she mustered up everything to go to him to tell him, she had to at least be sure of herself. You know what I mean? You're not like going with a guess.
She probably did it. Well, would she have done a paternity test already?
Probably not. I immediately ended the relationship and she moved home to have the baby.
Cool.
Great.
Cool. Happy ending, right?
Everyone's happy?
Everyone's happy.
It crushed me as this was totally out of the blue and utterly unlike her. And she refused to provide many details, and the whole situation just seemed vague and off. Recently, Rose's father passed away, and my mother attended the funeral. While there, she commiserated Rose, who was there with her husband and her daughter too, who, according to my mother, is visibly biracial and has a striking resemblance to me.
Is most likely OP's kid.
It's looking like it, but she said it wasn't.
So did she lie to get full custody of the kid? And she's like, OP, you would be a terrible father.
She gave us the plot twist.
Whoa.
The wild
this
card.
This has never happened.
Never in OKOP history
has this ever happened. Whoa. Smart.
We are in
Wicked
uncharted
smart, dude.
territory.
This is some fucking 4D reverse Uno, reverse chess, upside down checkers move.
And I'm here to see who gets checkmate.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How do I even begin to bring this up with her? I feel like I have to, but I have no idea where to even start.
You start with a paternity test. You steal a little bit of your kid's spit, make him pee in a cup or something, and then you send that over to the scientist. And you're like, hey, I got some kid spit. Can you analyze this?
That's the way, baby.
That's the way.
I also feel like I've moved on enough to be ready for closure and to actually address this whole matter with Rose. Breakup that happened in such a rush, and she moved away before I felt I was able to address the topic in any kind of rational, logical way. And remember, this is 6 years after the breakup, after the pregnancy happened.
This is 6 years after the pregnancy happened. Wow, that's a while, dude. That's a while.
Yeah, do you even want to revisit it at that point?
I'd say no, dude. You know, like just close that chapter. Don't look any further.
Keep on moving.
Just keep on keeping on.
Don't look in that box.
Don't look in that box, dude. Your kid might be in there.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
Could you put a camera in your pee hole and then get video inside?
The options are that she cheated on me and became pregnant with someone else's child. She cheated on me and has lied to me about her pregnancy, or she just made up the whole scenario for some effing reason. Help.
The answer is C.
C. Yeah. We don't know the reason. I mean, that is
We don't know
true.
the reason, but the answer is C.
The answer is C.
The answer is C for sure.
Edit. Rose just got in touch with me. She asked my mother for my phone number and texted me to ask whether I would be free for a call with her this week. I passed on my condolences for her father, and I told her to call me anytime this week outside of work hours. And then there's some relevant comment. So we're going to get into an update, but we got some relevant comments we want to look through first. From Fun Yellow 6567. You do nothing. All caps. You do not want to be a dad. Rose didn't want the child to be yours. Leave it be. OP responds, it's been 6 years and I've grown up a lot. I respect that this child has another father figure in their life at this point. But for example, I have adopted cousins who have gone looking for their biological parents with full respect to their adoptive parents and found it very rewarding. I guess I want to make sure Rose knows if her child ever wants to speak to me, I am open to it. Ideally, my family would like to know their first grandchild. In the future, the child would like to know her culture. If I ever have children, I would want them to know about their half-sister. Oh, does OP have a kid?
No. If I ever have children, I would want them to know about my half-sister,
Right.
which is maybe possibly this kid.
Right. At a minimum, Rose never gave me the chance to change my mind the way she changed hers. And
Right, because he said he didn't want to have a kid.
Yes. And she might have chosen to lie to me about cheating on me and genuinely shook up how I deal with relationships for a long time. That is a great point. I mean, if that's kind of like a crazy scenario to go through, you know, your girl's like, hey, I cheated with someone, I had a kid, and
Like, how are you sure? Like that's what I would ask.
yeah, we never got the test.
Yeah. And maybe OP was so happy that he didn't have to deal with a kid that he didn't look any further at that point.
Yeah, and was just so shook, basically.
Yeah.
A commenter asks about looking from the ex perspective and allowing her to have choices. OP, I do understand that's her perspective. She was put in a position where perhaps she could only see options that hurt me and her and the child, or options that only hurt me. Maybe that is the case. Maybe she chose the best of a bad set of options, but she still hurt me and lied to me and hid my own child from me. And I think being hurt and confused and looking for answers is still a valid response. If she had been honest with me, she could have opened up in the same place with a new partner, with a lovely little daughter, living where she pleased, and with a bit of support, financial or otherwise, from a version of me that wasn't in therapy for 2 years over the things that she lied to me about. Now we're about to get into the update, but I just had a theory as to maybe why she didn't tell OP.
I think it's this, you don't think it's because he said he didn't want kids. She got pregnant and she's like, oh, he doesn't want kids, so I'm just gonna run away and not have to deal with the conversation.
Also, I mean, the question is because OP said the kid was biracial, so I don't know what all the races of all the 3 players are.
Is it like a racism thing?
Possibly that, or like her just like trying to hide OP from the baby daddy, which is kind of what you said originally, like that she just wanted to cut and run.
We're kind of thinking the baby, like OP is the baby daddy.
Yes. But the guy that maybe she convinced the other guy that he was the baby daddy and didn't want OP getting in the way.
Oh, right. Remember that story that we read where it was like the girl was hooking up with a bunch of people and she just kind of wanted to choose the best one to raise
the one, of the three dads story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
So maybe she's like, let me do something that will get OP like out of my life now, so I can just move on with this other guy, and I don't want you to be the father.
Most eligible bachelor.
Oh, maybe we'll see. Update. Lots of people are asking for an update, so here we go. The kid is 100% mine. I'm going to call her Daisy for this post.
Whoa. Okay, so we know.
I guess so.
Dang.
I've met her a few times and she's a really cute and lovely kid. Wow. Okay, so we're already on to meeting. I am enjoying getting to know her, although of course I am sad that I missed out on so much of her developments and so many firsts. I'm also sad that she hasn't had my influence as a father would hope to their child. For example, she understands some Polish because of her stepfather's family, whereas I grew up in a house where elders spoke Creole. I wish she could have been able to explore her heritage from birth, but now she can choose whether she wants to do so, which is also exciting. She also strongly resembles me as a child, which is strange, but nice. My mother says she's the spitting image of her aunt, so we have been showing Daisy some family photos, which she seems to enjoy. My ex, Rose, is doing a great job of raising her. I want to stress that. Rose behaved badly in our relationship, but she is a wonderful mother, which I think is a pretty mature separation of, being objective on OP's part.
Yeah, trying to separate her into her different life stages and different positions. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to be getting to know Daisy a bit better over time with a view to having her eventually spend summer or winter vacations with me, if she wishes to, when she is a little bit older. Rose and her husband are also going to bring her to meet my mom when they are in our hometown, so Daisy can get to know her biological grandmother if she wants to. Rose is married to a very decent guy who clearly adores Daisy. To answer a question I got in quite a few of my DMs, the husband is white, Rose is white, and I am black. So that kind of ruins my theory. So it was fairly obvious that Daisy was not his biological child. However, he is very obviously her dad. We are getting along well, and he is supportive of me getting to know Daisy. Which,
so did he know that he knew that it wasn't his kid?
It seems like, I have to read a little bit between the lines here, but it seems like he knew that the kid wasn't biologically his.
And maybe they got into a relationship after she had the baby.
Yeah, because it seems to be the same guy from that point. Now, the hard part. Rose has apologized repeatedly for her actions. She says she did not cheat on me, and I have come to believe her. However, the lie still hurts. She has explained that this is something that weighed heavily on her, and she knew she would address it eventually. I have not forgiven her, but we are moving past it as best we can. We are both in therapy and considering doing some therapy as a unit to make sure we are healthy co-parents for Daisy. I have called her out and will continue to call her out. This has not been one conversation, but a long series of talks to understand one another's positions. Her explanation was that if I knew that she was pregnant and that the kid was mine, that I would have given up on the life I wanted, pursuing my dreams in order to have supported her. Instead, she broke up with me and moved home, where her father supported her until she had Daisy.
So she was like, I don't want you to give up on your dreams.
Yeah, but could have just said that. But I also understand.
But he probably wouldn't. If he's any kind of nice guy,
he'll probably start making those sacrifices anyways. Yeah. So it is helpful to, I think, understand her perspective there and why she did.
Dang, so she's almost doing it because she's
for him.
For him. Dang.
So
dang.
Commenters right now, we're gonna break this down at the end, so stick around to that. But comment right now. Do you think Daisy did the right
cash
thing?
Money move?
Was that the right thing that Rose did for OP? We'll break it down, but let us know what you think right now in the comments below. But for the sadness of this situation, I am in a good place in life now and relatively successful. Perhaps she is right that I would not have managed to do this if we'd had a baby at our young age, but I still wish she had given me the choice to say yes or no. However, what is done is done.
I think would be the right thing to do.
I think so.
To lie about that is, I think, the wrong thing to do, even though it was coming from a place that was somewhat selfless.
Yeah, trying to help him. Yeah. There's some stuff I do not want to mention, even on an anonymous forum like Reddit, which gives me further context and understanding for Rose's actions. Apologies for the anticlimax / for leaving that out, but it wouldn't feel right. Rose and her husband are currently declining to accept child support from me. Interesting. Saying they earn enough to raise Daisy without it. They have not made access to Daisy contingent in any way on money or anything else. I'm going to check with a lawyer to determine whether this is something they will be able to pursue for in the future, and to explore the legalities of instead placing that money into a trust for Daisy to use as an adult or perhaps for college. That's a fantastic idea.
That's a great idea.
Let Daisy become an adult and then let her decide what she wants to do with it from there. And we do have some relevant comments that OP answered. First one is from Rogue1206. This sounds like you're handling all of this beautifully. If I may make a suggestion, even though they are declining the child support, set the child support money aside into an account just for Daisy.
Yeah.
When she is 18, boom, one hell of a graduation gift, which, man, could you imagine? Like, that's another 12 years of putting into it. That's
what? I know it would be like a couple thousand a month, maybe. Like, let's say like 2,000 a month.
Well, not maybe, because remember we looked up the average child support was like 500 or 900, 500, Riley, right?
And OP's doing pretty well, right?
OP's doing pretty well. So let's say at least maybe 500 plus, something like that.
It would be more than that. It would be like 1,000, 2,000.
If we're going by the average, but it seems like 1,000 is like a pretty common, like it's like at least 1,000 basically. If it's like 14 in Tennessee, 21 in California, we started an account for my daughter when she was born. It's an interest-bearing account, so it will just grow with her. It will either help her with her higher ed or a down payment on a house in 11 years. I hope, but it's at least something.
That's pretty huge.
Yeah. OP, great idea. I'm looking into establishing a trust in case anything should happen to me in the next 10 to 15 years. But an interest-bearing account is also a good thought. Highly agree. I will raise it with the lawyer at my consultation next week.
Wow. So things ended in a weird place, but a good place.
A good weird place.
A good weird place.
I would say. And I think we're still left with the big question that we were teasing, which is, did Rose actually do a good thing in trying to look out for OP, even if she lied about the baby?
I think ultimately hiding that kind of information is bad.
Yeah.
So I think what she did was wrong, even though her heart seems like it was in the right place.
100%.
Like she was trying to be like, no, I don't want him to ruin his life or whatever. But I think he should have gotten the right to know.
Yeah, he should have gotten the right to know, and again, the right to choose, maybe, and also, can you I guess someone could find a way to just give you money, but you could just not spend it, right? If Rose was stop giving me money, I'm just not even going to touch it. Eventually, if that's the scenario that would happen, OP would probably clue in eventually and be like, all right, I will focus on my stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a way for Rose to accomplish
the same thing with giving the knowledge, but he might have been like, no, I want custody of my kid or something,
That's true. Maybe Rose is leaning on that now. Maybe part of it maybe also was that she was afraid that OP would want to, and it seems like she didn't want to be with OP because she didn't stay with him.
Maybe that's actually the reason.
The other guy is the father.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes.
Maybe she was like, I don't want to be hitched to this guy for the rest of my life.
But I'm pregnant with his baby. What if she literally was like, I want to leave, and then got pregnant.
And then got pregnant. Yeah.
Big conspiracies.
I don't know. What do you think, guys, is the actual reason? Put your answers in the comments. But you know what I want a reason for?
What?
A reason for living. So I'm going to read this next story.
Let's get into it.
My rude sister lied about our cat's gender, so I blocked her. About 7 months ago, I, 25 male, adopted a cat from my sister, 29, for my girlfriend, 24. At the time, my sister told us both that the cat was female, fixed, with shots. By the way, this comes from Rev Roach on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So granted, for other reasons, this was a very hectic time in my family's life, and my sister had trouble keeping up with a litter of 13 kittens for 10 months. My girlfriend picked up her cat of 7 months now the other day and felt a protrusion on her bottom.
Oh no.
Maybe it was how the buttholes of animals get inflamed and they have to scrape it on the ground.
Yeah, sure. They protrude.
You know what? Yeah, protruding.
I love how this
you know?
now Max is like, damn, I can't believe I stayed in this story.
Yeah, honestly, I think the other story was easier. You're looking at cat's genitalia over here, and you're talking about cat's buttholes.
After some investigating, she realized they were testicles.
Dude, this is my story.
After some investigating, she realized they were testicles, and her girl cat was actually a boy. She blamed herself for being a terrible parent and had a huge emotional breakdown. She's always had huge problems with sudden change, likely due to being slightly on the spectrum. So it affected her deeply. I called my sister, and this might be slightly paraphrased from a heated memory because this happened recently, but this is best. This is to the best of my recounting. Sister, what's up? Me. Hey, so the cat was fixed and had shots. Sister, no, I think she was one that probably didn't get fixed because only male cats get fixed. At this point, my girlfriend and I shared a look that affirmed in our memory that was not, in fact, what she told us. Me, I see, okay, well, the cat is actually a boy. Girlfriend found testicles on it today. Which is a lovely thing for girlfriends to find.
Yeah.
Sister, so are you mad at me? Me, well, I'm kind of upset that you lied to us. It really upset girlfriend. Sister, I didn't lie to you. How did I lie? Me, yes, you did. You told us the cat had got shots, or just start with telling us it was a girl. Sister, so you're calling to blame me because you just realized that what your cat was? Me, I just want to let you know what happened. Sister, whatever, you're calling to start drama over a cat I gave you a year ago. I'm hanging up. It was actually 6 or 7 months ago. I hung up, and a few minutes later, she called back. We went back and forth for a minute, but my girlfriend was also listening and heated herself at this point. So she beckoned me to give me her phone. Me, would you like to talk to girlfriend about it? Because she would love to tell you. Sister, yes, I would love to hear it from girlfriend, I guess, about the cat balls. I passed the phone over. Girlfriend sweetly, hey, sister. So firstly, we got the cat about 6 or 7 months ago, and you did tell us it had got shots and was fixed. At this point, my sister started going off again at my girlfriend, yelling to the point that my girlfriend couldn't get a word in edgewise. Why do you care so much about these cat balls existing or not existing?
It does seem like a kind of preposterous thing to be that wrapped up in. I would understand more about the shots because, like, that can get other animals sick if you bring that animal around other animals. But in terms of, like, yeah, it's weird to be, like, focusing on, like, you lied about the cat not being it. Like,
to the point that girlfriend couldn't get a word in edgewise and eventually just pulled the phone away from her ear. It was so loud at the point I heard my sister screaming and cussing at the girlfriend. And to remind everyone, this is about cat testicles.
This is about the presence of unexpected cat testicles.
And I've never really like looked at a pair of cat testes. I've seen a bunch of dog testes.
I'll tell you from experience, they are a little low key.
Low key, yeah. I feel
especially
like
when the cat is still like a little baby.
Yeah, or if it's chonky, it's kind of like it's like in there.
I can't really tell you the spectrum. I've only got one frame of reference here.
Well, because when I'm thinking about the dog balls I've seen, it's like
they're
like,
out there.
They're out there. They're hanging. There's like really not much hair on there. Like you're seeing definition. You're seeing veins. You're seeing the whole thing.
I don't think that's the case with
cats. It's like it feels like it's a layer of fur. It's kind of like it's like a little bit more covert.
Yeah,
it's like those dice that are like hanging from car. Those fluffy dice that hang from car mirrors. It's like those. All right. Okay.
Fluffy dice. Oh my god.
You're kind of right though. Am I gonna lie?
Right?
Yeah. They're kind of cool.
Now I really want to touch a pair of
cat balls to hang on your mirror.
Anyway, and I reached over to hang up, took the phone, and messaged her. This conversation will be accurate. So, you don't get to take zero responsibility for your actions and then talk to me and girlfriend like that. We're done. Done. Over. I've had it up to here with the cat balls. I'm throwing out the cat balls out the window into the car.
To the trouble puffs?
Those trouble puffs are too much trouble. I'm getting rid of them.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Sister, you realize you guys called to yell at me about a cat I gave you over a year ago. Like, that's kind of crazy. What's the point of calling me? Well, 1, you lied about the balls of the cat, and 2, you lied about the shots. You know?
The lying about the shots is like more of a, I think, reasonable thing to be upset about because that can actually really impact the health of the cat.
But
It's the last.
I
thing
want
wanna
to buy
sponsor.
in on these cat balls right now. What's important? So me, honestly, I was kind of hoping that just for once you would say, I'm sorry, you're right, I messed up. And that would have been the end of it because the sister lied about the shots for the cat and the balls of the cat. But apparently that's beyond you. Sister, if you don't like the cat, I guess give it back. But calling me and starting pointless drama, you're 25 years old. Also, 1, 6 months, it's not a year. And 2, you yelled. Sister, I messed up about what? I'm not an effing vet. Y'all knew I had no idea about these cats. Me, right, girlfriend and I, both having a shared hallucination of you telling us she was fixed with shots. Sister, I paid a lot for these cats to be fixed with shots, almost all of them. Our family drama made it hard to pay for all of them.
So this is the only if there are other cats in the mix, that's where I can see the anger coming from. If there are other cats in the mix, and there are, correct?
There are more cats.
So
in the
that
mix.
does justify the anger because if you don't like give the cats certain shots, and especially if these are outdoor cats, that could like really be a detriment to all of the other animals.
Yeah.
So
dude, you're gonna have little baby mamas everywhere.
Yeah.
Me. Or you're incapable of taking accountability for your mistakes, which seems more likely. Blame it on everyone else. Ever. Sister, really trying to start crap over a cat you got a year ago? I'm done. Goodbye. Me, yep. Sister, lol, wow. This is a new chapter for you. Me, you've gaslit me my entire adult life, and I'm done. Merry Christmas. I then blocked her all over cat balls and let our father know of the impending cat ball drama. As you can probably tell, there's a lot of family drama, toxicity, and history in this relationship. Honestly, I expected her to yell at me and cuss me out. I was ready to sympathize when she made excuses for herself. I was hoping for an apology, for her to have the balls to do something, but I didn't realistically expect it. But my girlfriend is the best part of my life. She's changed me for the better. Everyone in my family adores her and can see how good of an influence she's been to me and even to them. Therefore, I expected my sister to actually be respectful and listen to her, the involved third party. The line was crossed when I heard her cussing out my girlfriend. You don't cuss someone out, especially my girlfriend, and especially about cat balls.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. This is all absolutely ridiculous. This is so overblown, though. It really is. To be like, I'm cutting off. Merry Christmas. I'm never talking to you again.
I do think OP is kind of going overboard.
It's
like you're calling to get mad at your sister for something you found out the cat doesn't have. Just take care of it. Like, just take care of it.
And honestly, like, it can be hard to if the cat is like a newborn or whatever. It's like it's
It can be hard.
hard.
No, those things tiny.
They
initially.
are.
And again covered with fur.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really see them.
Yeah.
It's like
trouble
buttons.
Trouble fuzzers.
Trouble
fuzzies.
Trouble fuzzies.
Trouble fuzzy.
You know who has very visible balls are squirrels.
Oh yeah.
Those things
That's
just
true.
hang out. And
and we're back. And we're back.
That being said, I know my sister is going to go to family and friends representing her side of the story and painting me, and now even my girlfriend, out to be persecuting her somehow. As forementioned, I'm used to my sister gaslighting me, and until this point, I didn't have to witness to reassure me I wasn't crazy. But thanks to my girlfriend, I've learned to set boundaries with toxic family. But we never want to set boundaries with you, especially...
I mean,
set boundaries, but we never want you to stop going to our lives every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on Facebook and YouTube. Just tap our profile. We'd love to see you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there is one last update, and we're just going to go into it.
Yeah.
I don't think my family is going to fall for it this time. I made mistakes in the past, so I don't blame them for believing her side of the story before now. But now it doesn't only involve me. Still, I'd like a few outside opinions, maybe just for reassurance, maybe to show my family in case this all blows up before Christmas. Or even if you think I'm wrong, tell me why. So am I the a-hole for blocking my sister before Christmas, for cussing at me and my girlfriend after lying about the cat and gaslighting us? You're kind of a little bit the a-hole. Yeah, a little bit the a-hole.
Yeah, dude. Hey. Yeah.
Hey, yo.
What do you think about that, Max?
Yeah, Max.
Well, I think she should be more grateful that she got a cat in the first place.
Right?
Right? Come on, like it doesn't matter the gender of the cat. Like
It's a
gender
great
doesn't matter.
thought.
Gender doesn't matter.
What matters is the content of that cat's heart.
Yep.
That's all that matters.
And
And
that
if it was a nice cat, that's all that matters. And also the same thing, if it was a female cat, I could have got pregnant, and that's actually more of a responsibility than if it's a
That's
man
true.
cat,
Now
because
you got
neither.
kittens.
Yeah, now you got kittens.
That's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. And I don't think cat child support exists. So.
You know,
I'm
not in
less
this country, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I feel like
we're a
we
little
need more
behind in the times.
universal child kitten care.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is not even potential like having a litter of kittens. It's more of like there's certain, and I could be wrong on this, but I think with like feline leukemia and like there's some diseases that can be passed through direct contact with like nose contact and stuff. And I think I think the way to prevent it from transmitting is just like the vaccinations, because I'm my own head's getting mixed up. But basically, what I'm saying is that the shots, I would be most upset about the shots because it's like, what if this cat got sick and you never told us that they didn't have shots and it could have spread to other cats? But we don't have enough context to really know if that's that big of a deal or if they're inside or outside. It's either way, just a huge overreaction to completely cut a member of your family off for this.
Yeah, for this. But it seems like there's a lot of history there that's just unprocessed.
My wife is acting weird, and I just found out I might have an STI.
Uh-oh.
That's not good. I'm in shock, and I really need some advice right now. Me, 40 male, and my wife, 37 female, have been married for 10 years, and we recently celebrated our anniversary, and we have 2 wonderful kids together. By the way, this comes from Choice Evidence 1983 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit.
Their last anniversary. So cute.
Oh, God. So since the beginning of the year, things have been off between us. She's been acting strangely since the beginning of the year, irritable, avoiding me, and we haven't been intimate much. Some days she's happy, some others fully irritated. Sometimes she's a great mother to our kids. Some other times she wishes they had never been born.
Whoa,
that is
that is quite the range.
Yeah, that's indicative of something going on. You know, maybe her mental health, but yeah, not good signs here. Recently, I had to go to the urologist for a urinary tract infection, and the test suggested that it might have been an STI. This was a huge shock because I've never been with anyone other than my wife since we started dating. Right now, she's at a so-called business seminar. OP's sounds pretty distressful. Said business.
When business is in quotes,
you
know it's going downhill.
Of which I have talked about in a different post. She's been keeping diaries for over a decade, and out of desperation, I read them for the first time ever.
Oh, God.
Not a good sign.
The trust is broken. The trust is broken. But hey, you found proof.
Why not talk to her? I mean, come on. Especially with something like that where it's like involving your health. I think you have the right to just bring that to the table and be like, yo, anything going on here? Just checking. So I read them for the first time ever. It turns out that she's been having multiple spicy sleep partners for the past 2 years. After celebrating their 10 years of marriage, she's cheating. She's having an affair. In particular, there was one affair that lasted over a year, and it seems that part of her irritability was due to her lover moving on to someone else. Dude.
That's why she was mad.
That's why she was taking out that. It's one thing taking work out on your partner is bad enough, but
taking your affair out at your partner for not going well.
I mean, brother.
Do you leave? Yes.
Get the freak out of here.
Get out of there ASAP.
I also discovered that she has a hidden Tinder account too, and has been meeting with other men regularly.
I feel like the other men are regularly. It's like not just one guy. It's like multiple
deep affairs, meeting with other guys. Like
you don't recover from this. I mean, one instance of cheating. This has been like hundreds.
It's one thing to use your golden hall pass.
Is one thing, which they only have like 4.
She was running. She ran through dangerously fast. Yeah. I am devastated beyond words. I feel lost and unsure of what to do. especially since we have 2 little kids who mean the world to me. Lot of baggage here.
You don't stay together for the kids.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. I need some advice on how to handle this situation. Should I confront her immediately?
Yes.
Should I consult a lawyer first?
Ooh.
How do I even begin to process this betrayal and protect my kids through all of this? Thank you for any guidance you can offer in this incredibly difficult time. There is an update, but yeah, so again, running it down, he has, kids, 10-year marriage here. He's trying to figure out what exactly in chronological order should be his next move. I think personally, him mentioning the lawyer is probably a good idea, but I would do that as efficiently as possible and then get that checkbox fulfilled and go to the wife as soon as possible.
As soon as you can. I think it depends on how much you trust your wife to not be like a massive douche. Because it's like, if you're afraid of what she might do, then you go to a lawyer first. If you think you can talk to her, then maybe you talk to her first, then go to the lawyer.
I think even to just understand, get a quick sync of the implications and things to come, I think it could be, and literally, I think it could be like, call a lawyer to just like get an idea of like what the process is like, and maybe that day or the next day confront her, just so there's not a long period of time where
you have to like
live the lie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think living the lie for as little time as possible makes a ton of sense. So
totally.
I guess I would revise and say, call lawyer, then call wife and have like soon, like have that conversation ASAP.
Yeah, and I didn't think about that until he mentioned it too. So I'm like, oh yeah, maybe that's a move. But there is more. We have an update.
What do you say to your wife? What do you say? Why you do this?
I would just, first I would like lay out all the evidence.
I think I would say like, hey, I know I broke the trust in our marriage by doing this, but I was getting really suspicious, and this is what I found. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I feel like I would kind of want to know why.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't be my most level-headed, coherent self, but like, just like,
what's up?
Why do this? Like, just like go be with those guys. Like, don't be married to me and like, running around on the side.
Well, let's see.
Probably how to redact. Update. Thank you all for your invaluable advice and support. It has been a tremendous help during this difficult time. After my last post, my in-laws kindly offered to look after the kids while my wife was away at her seminar. They remain unaware of the turmoil I've been experiencing. I use this time to go through her diaries and take pictures of the contents. Chat, do we agree with that? Please let me know. Each entry felt like a stab in the back, leaving me in a state of shock and disbelief. I just don't recognize that person anymore I thought I knew and loved for over a decade. To avoid going too much into detail, the revelations in the diaries would make any movie or TV series I've ever seen pale in comparison. She's involved with at least 6 different men over the past 2 years.
6?
Dude. These affairs occurred not only during her so-called seminars, but also during short business trips, dinners, and other supposed work-related events. So, I mean, OP's suspicion about the business seminar was correct.
True. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was at home taking care of the kids and naively believing I was supporting her career. Dude, that just makes it sting so much worse, where you're like, I mean, it's a very reasonable sacrifice to do, but it's like, hey, yes, I'll watch the kids. You go grow in your career. I want you to have, all these opportunities and do this.
I mean, she did take every opportunity thrown at her.
My goodness gracious. She was very adaptable and flexible.
She was. She was. And you know what? Sometimes you got to make those kind of choices to advance your career.
That's true.
And she did. She made every choice.
The men she worked with did experience lots of growth.
Mm-hmm. And they worked under her.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Like pretty vigorously, it seems.
Pretty vigorously, but she was working on top as well.
But she stayed on top of it.
She stayed on top of it the whole time.
Wow. Some entries vividly describe how great these encounters were for her, all while expressing gratitude towards me for being a devoted husband and father. Dude, that would make me so
shout
much.
out?
A shout out.
Oh, that's
Let's
so
go.
cute.
Bro.
She
That's
thought
so
of
cute.
me.
That would make me so much angrier, honestly. That would piss me off so much more. Without a single trace of remorse. The lack of guilt and extent of her deception made me question her emotional and mental state. Yeah, for sure. This is I don't know what the diagnosis is, but it's something.
Psychopath.
Yeah,
Psychopath for sure.
While reading through the diaries, I felt an overwhelming sense of despair and was seriously contemplating unaliving. In the end, I sought refuge with friends for a few days, as I felt I couldn't be alone. Otherwise, I'd do something that could never have been taken back. They really supported me a lot during this time and helped me get in contact with a therapist. I'm now taking regular therapy sessions once per week. They also helped me in getting in touch with lawyers specializing in divorce. Friends, shout out to them. That I think that was massively helpful and totally the right move on OP's part and the friend's part. I'm also getting treatment for my STI as well. Oh God, just so many knife twists here. It's Return. Sam commenting even with a mouthful. That is top tier podcasting, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't stop.
That's how we do it. Now, returning home after picking up the kids from my in-laws was an emotionally devastating experience. Just looking my kids in the face. Oh, dude, I can only imagine. I couldn't bring myself to smile at all. At some point, while contemplating all the possible ways that I could end it, my daughter just looked at me and saw my face. Without saying a word, she came over and wrapped her arms around me. At that moment, I broke down, held her tightly, and burst into tears in front of her. She's my sweet angel, and the shame of having considered leaving my kids to suffer under their mother's disdain was almost too much to bear. And for the first few weeks after finding out, I could barely sleep at all and had to depend on taking sleeping pills just to get through the nights. My motivation was at an all-time low, affecting both my home life and my work. I forced myself to continue exercising, found it was the only thing that actually made me feel better during this time. To whoever said in the previous post that I shouldn't give up on doing exercise, thank you. You may have just saved my life. The stress intensified after my wife returned from her trip. I mean, this is the big moment. This is the big one.
I mean, he's gonna say something like ASAP.
Oh, like should he?
Will he? You think?
I at this point I don't know if he can hold it in from like what.
Yeah,
he's
dude.
describing.
I mean, he can barely hold it in when she's not there.
I feel like he's gonna be pretty quickly address this. Initially, it took all my energy to hide my disgust at her and the knowledge that I had gained about her actions. I've somewhat got used to this now, but it remains emotionally draining. She did notice that something was off, but still appears to believe that I'm entirely unaware of what has transpired. Her lack of shame is staggering. Just recently, she asked me to buy her the expensive gift I promised her for a 10-year anniversary, for which I made an excuse to not buy her just yet. Despite her going into another business trip just the day after our anniversary, dude, true. Oh my God, which was described in extremely painful detail in her diaries. To make matters worse, she was even arranging to meet her latest partner on the day of my birthday. Bro, mans cannot catch a break. God dang
She has no freaking shame.
No freaking shame.
Which I think is why I'm pretty sure she's a psychopath.
Yeah, this is just...
Like, if you're going to do this stuff, you should at least feel a little bit bad, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
just a little bit.
Like,
not even that much, but she doesn't feel bad at all.
Oh my God. Nowadays, I've started to feel a lot better thanks to exercise and therapy. I had never been to a therapist before in my life, and to be honest, I am regretting not having it done sooner. Despite my wife betraying me in the worst way possible, part of me still thought that maybe all of this was my own fault. Dude,
OP, no.
Maybe if I had done this, if I had put more effort into that, I blame myself for a lot of things. My therapist helped me see through it. While I could have done some things differently, in the end, I cannot be held responsible for the actions she chose to take, and no one deserves to be betrayed in the way I was.
Yeah, agreed.
If I'm at fault for anything, it's for blaming myself for everything, always putting her needs ahead of my own, and trusting her unconditionally without question. While it was extremely hard for me to balance work and looking after the kids alone every time she went on one of these trips, I always let her go after convincing myself that I was doing it for her, to support her business, to let her relieve stress from being at home, that this is what a supportive husband would do, which, just super quickly, I think is like, in general, I feel like that is, a good thing to try to do for a partner, and finding ways that you can support them. Generally, this is good. Like,
and sometimes like it's also getting support elsewhere, you know, like having a list of 6 to 12 men that can support your wife when you're not there.
You know, it's the
little things
or big things.
It's the little or big, the massive
running the range. I mean, if I got 12 guys, you know, that's
and sometimes all at the same time. You know, it takes a village.
It takes a village to please your wife. That if maybe I'd had a better job or made her happier, she wouldn't feel the need to escape from home. Dude, I'm hoping it's probably entrenched deep, but just get that out of the window of your brain hole as quick as possible. My God. I'd be lying if I said I'm not depressed anymore, but I'm certainly doing much better these days. Nowadays, I feel more rage rather than sadness, and it is the rage that's keeping me going. My therapist advised me to channel this rage into the things I do, which has worked surprisingly well. I talked with 2 law firms about my situation and was advised to collect more evidence, which I've been devoting myself to for the past few weeks. I finished digitizing all of her diaries from the past few years, which were quite a lot. I got access to her computer and found way too many photos, chat conversations, and documents to help my case.
Oh my God.
Golly. She's been posting all of her adventures into a very distorted private Facebook group, to which I've also been able to take plenty of screenshots. I wonder if this is a like Ashley Madison type Facebook
what is that?
group. Ashley Madison was it's a dating site only for people in relationships getting into affairs. So it's literally dedicated to having an affair. So I wonder if this Facebook group is like,
oh, dude, we should totally read from those.
We totally should.
We totally should.
I think I've seen like Ashley Madison stories before, because also their entire site got hacked and leaked. So it was there's like a whole Netflix documentary on it. There's like, it's just, you know, yeah.
Oh, dude, we should totally read from those.
Yeah, there's like a treasure trove of
you know who could get that for us is Ollie.
Yeah, Ollie could. Guys, we are in the background. We're cooking. I've compiled a list of all of her sexual partners in the diaries and have been identifying them one by one on social media, etc. I've gathered everything I could on her current partners and managed to figure out where they live and or work. Now I'm debating on whether or not I should confront them. What do you gain? What do you gain from confronting the other guys?
I don't think anything.
I feel like nothing. The things I've read in these diaries are so bizarre that I thought maybe she was just writing material for some sort of twisted novel. That is, until I found all of the other stuff on her computer, etc. Maybe I'm broken myself as well, but a part of me is actually enjoying the process of gathering all these tiny pieces of evidence of information.
He's like, dang, this would make a great book.
Right? Cross-referencing them with her diaries and finding everything I can about her and her lovers. Part of me wants to see her burn on social media by posting directly everything I found out. Since a big part of her business is centered around social media.
Oh, sheesh.
Woo, but I'm refraining myself from doing so, since that would affect both me and the kids as well as her parents. Yeah, do not do that.
But maybe push for full custody of the kids.
Push for full custody. And
again,
like
she would probably agree to it because of what you have.
Exactly. And I think it is good to gather all of the evidence so that way you can get the best possible situation that you want for you, for your kids, etc., etc. As well as her parents, who have been nothing but kind to me since we've got married. But I'm also not sure if I should bring this to light to her parents as well, since this would probably devastate them. I'm planning on confronting her after talking further with the lawyers about how to make sure I gain custody of my kids. The country I live in has a rather unfair tendency of granting custody to the mother, even if she's unfit for it, setting the terms of the divorce and the child support. By the way, you can join our live like we are right now every weekday at 3 p.m. PST.
Support us.
Why don't you just
children
tap the profile? In any case, thank you for all the advice. A few weeks ago, I was in full despair, had no idea what to do or how to approach the situation. Nowadays, I feel that little by little, I'm digging myself out of this hole that I've been thrown into. Sorry if I don't respond to all of your comments. Right now, my full attention is devoted to protecting my kids. That is the end of the story.
I think he confronts the wife and not all the partners.
Yeah, I think at this point, again, I think, like a short interim period on, talking to a lawyer, maybe gathering some stuff if you need. I think we're well beyond the point. And he can still gather, maybe she tries to hide stuff, but Like you can still gather stuff later, but just
you have
tell
all
her.
you need.
Yeah, just you have everything you need. I would just tell her now and just kind of.
And also,
get it
I
over
don't
with
think
in a
she
way.
even would want the kids. If she's like she was at the beginning, she was bouncing between like wishing they were never born.
Yeah,
you know. So it's like which is a sociopathic thing to say.
I mean, it's just so insane.
Yeah. So I think like for those reasons, definitely don't be with her. Probably don't have her around your kids. And, you know, cut her free.
Cut her free. Let her go.
Let her go. You know, get
Do whatever
12
she
more
wants.
partners. You know, she
Yeah.
deserves it.
Now she can get like 100.
Yeah,
now that she
dude.
doesn't
She
have
can
to, like,
stack those numbers up
I mean,
to the
juggling
ceiling.
12 guys and in a marriage. I mean, that
Time
takes
management.
That takes time management.
Yeah, that's some CEO shit right there.
She could do it. Have some sort of psychotic, very successful business.
Yeah, dude. I mean, even if she was like sugar babying, like
Maybe
sugar
she's
babying
the CEO of
12
Ashley Madison.
Dude, she might be.
She could have
might be.
crushed
She's
it.
getting fodder for it.
Could have crushed it.
But you know what? I'm going to focus on
Tell
this next story.
Yahoo! Let's do it.
Ooh. My girlfriend is a compulsive spender. I just found out she's been stealing money to afford it.
Oh, dear.
My 27 female partner, 32 female of 2 years, has an impulse issue when it comes to spending money. The first year of our relationship, I didn't notice because we're adults with our own money and jobs, and I'm not one to question how someone spends their money. I knew she made more money than me also, so she's rolling it.
Ooh.
She also ended up moving in with me and my family, and they loved her, my grandma especially. She also was not asked to pay rent or any bills while living with us. That's just how my grandma is. My grandma liked her a lot and eventually began letting my partner run errands for her, as my grandma doesn't leave the house anymore. But what we always make sure to never leave is our subreddit r/OK Storytime, where Air Environmental 1344 submitted this story. So in March, for my brother's birthday, my grandma wanted my cousin, we'll call her Haley, to go buy a cake. Cool.
Love that.
But my grandma couldn't find her bank card. She thought first that Haley forgot to return it last time she ran errands for grandma.
I see you.
But I see you.
I see you.
In the chat.
This is bad.
Also,
if you see what is coming.
this is from our direct subreddit.
Whoa.
Oh,
One of our own.
This is
sheesh.
truly one of our very own.
Truly one of our very own.
Whoa.
They looked everywhere and couldn't find it. Haley checked my grandma's banking app on her phone, and we saw that someone had used the card the day before.
How dumb do you have to be? You
Very
think
dumb.
they're not going to trace it back to you? Insanity.
That triggered all of us to assume my other cousin, we'll call him George, had taken it because he had shown up the day before out of nowhere, and he's a known thief. My partner ended up calling me from her job while all that was going on, and I explained to her what was happening and that we think George stole grandma's card. My partner got instantly irritated and said that she couldn't deal with drama right now because she's already stressed with work. I thought it was weird that she was stressed with the situation as it didn't even involve her. I think we know what happened here.
Agreed.
But let's keep going. When she came home that night, things got weirder. She got in the shower while I sat and talked with my brother and Haley. When my partner came out, she heard us talking about George and how awful it is that he would do that to her grandma. When she heard us talking, my partner said that she was feeling tired and that she was going to lay down. I thought that was strange because she has insomnia and I'm usually the one in bed early. I had never heard her say she was going to go to bed before. So I followed her and she started acting weird, saying things like, "What if your cousin wasn't the one that took the card?"
Why is she telling on herself so hard?
Dude,
Like,
I feel like she just can't help it.
if you're going to be a thief, at least be a good thief,
Yeah,
right?
and she is not a good thief.
Come on, man.
I ended up pretty much having to hold her and calm her down for a couple hours until she fell asleep. I genuinely thought she was having some kind of mental breakdown and that she was confused. The next morning, I woke up, my partner, for work, and she immediately started freaking out again. It's a long story, but she basically ended up leaving the house, speaking recklessly about wanting to harm herself. And when I finally found her, I tried to figure out if I should take her home or take her to the hospital. Haley called me while I was with my partner, and she simply said, "Hey, I think you should come home. It doesn't look good." My partner heard Haley say that, and she said, "It was me, wasn't it?" And at that moment, everything just clicked. And I knew that my partner had been the one to take the card and that she was the one spending the money.
Wow. Wow. Why? What's your
And
motive?
especially because she has money too.
She has money. The grandma is the one that allowed her to stay in the place rent free.
So my family had looked back at the transactions and seen that it went back to way before George came around. I told my partner that I couldn't believe she sent me on a goose chase, worried and trying to find her just because she couldn't tell me the truth and she knew she did something wrong. She tried to stop me from leaving, but I got in my car and immediately called the police because I knew she would do something stupid after I left. My partner ended up being hospitalized for over 6 months.
Whoa. I don't understand.
I think she was basically being found out for stealing. She just went kind of crazy.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Also, this is rich. She claimed to not remember anything she did. Oh,
Pleading the fifth.
I guess I just forgot everything.
I just took it. My hand, sometimes I'm like walking down the street, like the credit card's in my hand. Oops, I swipe.
Classic amnesia.
Oh no. Oh.
Yeah, I can't be held accountable for this. I don't remember.
Come on, plead the fifth.
She claimed to not remember anything she did. I didn't believe her, and I'm still unsure. She had been stealing money from not only my grandmother, but from me for months.
Whoa.
After 6 months or something close to that, I went through a lot of emotions. I was heartbroken. I was betrayed. My partner had stolen money from me while I was in the hospital, while I was sleeping, while I was already sending her money for things. I just don't understand it, and I guess I still don't. Well, as you can guess, it took a lot of work between us, but I decided to give her another chance. And now I feel like I'm going to end up in the same position again. I've noticed my partner hasn't been sleeping well. Her mental health is suffering. And I noticed that she's been spending a lot of money. Keep in mind, she hasn't even been back to work. She told me that she had been saving up for all her disability payments while she was hospitalized. We got a house together. I just bought a new car that she swore she was going to help me with. And then a couple of days ago, I tried to talk to her about something, and she randomly brought up how she feels she can't go anywhere or buy anything without me asking what she's doing and what she's buying. Well, duh. I mean, you stole from him for 6 months.
I mean, honestly, why is he still with her? I don't understand.
I think this would be a deal breaker for me.
Just the stealing, the fallout that came as a result from it. There's just multiple factors here. And we're just oh yeah, so we got together. I'm like, wait, what?
You wouldn't pause for a little bit?
Yeah, you're not
hold up.
taking
Is this a good idea?
My God. I don't know.
Well, I told her that in all honesty, I'm doing that because I've noticed your mental health declining and how much money you're spending, and I'm worried about it. When I got home, she basically broke down and cried and told me that all her money is spent and that she's been ignoring her hospital bills and ignoring her therapist and ignoring her caseworker, and she said she doesn't know what to do. She told me that part of the reason she added me to her bank account is so that maybe I could see what she was spending and keep her in line, basically. She said that all of this is stressing her out and that when she's stressed, she spends money, which I imagine makes her more stressed. I said nothing. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get help. And I'm scared I'm going to get myself hurt again. I'm scared that I'm going to lose my home. And I'm scared I'm going to lose my partner. I think I realized that she really is a lot more mentally ill than I've realized. And I'm scared. My partner's best friend talked to me and told me that my partner has never been good with money. And she never will be. And that she's basically had this issue her whole life. And that I should basically take charge of all the finances and all of her money as well. All I can think about is how I don't want to have to do that. I shouldn't have to. But what you should have to do is join us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube. Just tap her profile. But side note, literally a day after she broke down crying to me, we went to the store and she had $50 worth of lottery tickets with her because she needed to cash some in.
What?
That really upset me and sent me into a spiral. I've been depressed lately and just feeling hopeless. I just need advice here, please, or to hear from anyone who has dealt with similar issues. What can I do? Is this a lost cause? Thank you to anyone who took the time to read my post. I've really been struggling with this and don't seem to get any responses when I try to discuss this. And that is where this story ends.
Why try to solve it in the first
Break
place?
up? Maybe break up.
I don't know. Remind me there. Do we know how long they've been in a relationship and if they have kids or not?
I do not believe that they have kids.
I don't know. I'm just like,
but they have been in a relationship of 2 years, and OP is 27 and their partner is 32.
I don't know. To me, I'm just like, this is clearly OP is seeing this is a problem that is like monumental and doesn't seem like anything that he can help solve. Like, this is her issue to ultimately fix. Like, she's the only one that has the power to do it, and it's like, if she's still showing signs, there's still so many red flags.
Dude, there's red flag after red flag.
Everywhere.
And it's like, at a certain point, like, I mean, you have to just actually look at the red flags and realize this was not a relationship worth saving.
Yeah.
And OP, I don't think has made that decision because, as Caitlin Van Kampen says, the head game too strong.
It's too strong.
Hard to think straight when that head game's strong.
There's more head in the sea. Guys,
Slidey
come on.
There's more head in the sea.
Come on.
Slidey Toe says, I hate to say it, but if he wants to stay with her, he is going to have to take control of her finances until she gets a therapist who can help her. And it sounds like he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, like, and look, there are ways. Like, I intentionally chose not to comment on like ways to do it because I truly believe that he shouldn't. There's definitely some things that he could do and could help, but like, it's just, I don't know. It just seems too much.
Yeah, I mean, they've only been together for 2
She
years.
should go to rehab, honestly.
Well, she was institutionalized for 6 months.
She was.
Is that not enough for you? What do you think that is?
Is that not
know. Rehab?
Maybe that's
What is
not,
that?
because there's a difference between like being hospitalized and going to rehab in many.
I don't know. I think rehab often is like, dude, there's some like whack ass, like the underground.
For sure.
You know, the underground rehab, like rehab is.
It's just a cash cow.
It's a cash cow.
Yeah.
Like you have in equine horse therapy rehab where people are paying like $100K for like 30 days or less to pet some horses. And I'm like, if that's not a money laundering scheme, I think it is.
Agreed. But at this point,
but there's also good.
I'm like,
there also is good rehab.
Yeah.
To be clear, I feel like there's like a lot of sketchy stuff going in the rehab centers. Well, that was a doozy.
Yep. Say that.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you,
and see you tomorrow.